up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrums. I ain't never scared like Bone Crush. Boy, I got God, don't fear none. My line busy, take no calls. Feels like I don't have no flaws. Snakes in the grass, cut those off. Yo, squad shitty, my bros raw. No breaks, we go, 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 go. Throw shade, that's a no, 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 no. Go high, go low, low, low. Like spinning in a 644. Cash money like 504. Ball like AD24. No sleep, need more, more, more. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I'm a real one, my day ones. Try speak up, can't say none. Try dig dirt, there ain't none. I make the money that save up. 10 to 80, my save ones. Take to the top on the base one. New car, race on. Fast lane, pace on. With the booyah, that's a flex. Not human, I am from another planet. I'ma teleport, might vanish. I'ma wake up, do damage. Jordan number 7, East Bordeaux. Working all night, need more though. I remember nights I was poor though. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Say it again, say it again. You're saying you're sorry, so say it again. Only you can make my world go black. Say you love me, then you take it back. Say it again, say it again. You want my forgiveness, so say it again. You're my thunder of my darkest night. You just can't go back and make it right. 'Cause it's too late, your time is up. Damage done and now it's stuck. 'Cause it's too late, you roll the dice, and now you have to pay the price. Yeah, I'm in a better place now. I'm not gonna worry, no, I'm not even sorry. You're gonna be the lonely one. I'm in a better place now. I'm not gonna worry, no, I'm not even sorry. You're gonna be the lonely one. Say it again, say it again. You're saying you feel bad, so say it again. Only you can do that. My heart was open wide. I could feel it breaking deep inside. 'Cause it's too late, your time is up. Damage done and now we're stuck. 'Cause it's too late, you roll the dice, and now you have to pay the price. Oh, I'm in a better place now. I'm not gonna worry, no, I'm not even sorry. You're gonna be the lonely one. I'm in a
Welcome to the GRG podcast, where you get all the latest gaming news, hot topics, and more. With guest Triple Cup Chuck, Live Wires Gaming, 108 Dragons TV, Bloody Knuckles, Operations Op 100, live, and your host K Mega 405. The GRG podcast
starts right now.
What's going on, everybody? What's happening, everybody? The GRG podcast is doing it live. We are live. Thank you so much. If you guys wouldn't mind, go share this out. You know, YouTube's algorithms just be treating a brother like garbage. And I've been supporting YouTube for a minute. But regardless of that, regardless, let's get into it. We got a lot to discuss. I've had some bickering from a couple of people in the chat today about they wanted to go in and talk about the state of play. I was kind of just like, we should just avoid this. I mean, it really ain't too much to talk about. But, of course, these guys want to break it down. And then, of course, you know, I had a couple of people hit me up and says, Mega, I know y'all going to talk about, you know, the state of play. Let's talk about it. So, all right, so let me go up here and just go to one of the people that were petitioning to get this done. What's going on with you, Slick Slayer? What's happening with you, bro?
Man, doing good, man. Got some new tech in the house, you know, always playing with new toys.
Yes.
When I get a new toy, play with that.
My new tech, he's talking about his vibrator.
Whoa, we got comfortable.
Hey.
Got too comfortable.
That person that you're talking
Got too comfortable.
That's
Got too
the
comfortable.
mirror. Your monitor's over there.
Here we go. All right, so you got new tech. And it's not, and hopefully it's not. I mean, and if it is, I mean, you got an old lady, and I mean, sometimes they have needs and things like that. I have no problem with that situation at all. I mean, if it's for yourself, that's your business. I don't care. I don't care. That you still my boy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we good. But I mean, look, you know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to go to. I'm just not going to drink after you. That's you know what I'm saying.
Bloody read my mind. Thank you, Bloody.
Yeah. But okay, all right. But anyway, other than that. All right, let's get on to it. As you heard, Bloody being messy. He was going last week, and it's always really funny because when he's over here and he's getting his Satan rings ready to go and polished up, he comes back even more messy. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because they're shiny, they're glistening. His boots is on tight. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? The mascara, the lip gloss, whatever the hell's going on. My boy is ready to go. He is on full Yakuza / I don't know, pagan mode. What's going on with you, Bloody? What's happening?
You know what it is, man. Kicking ass, taking names here, always doing the same thing, playing games all day. Here to talk about the games that we got coming up and just ready to be back, you know. I always love taking my little breaks when I need to, but you know, I miss being able to talk with you crazy ass suckers every time.
No
because
doubt.
of the fact that I always have fun whenever we get these chats going.
No doubt.
You know, the Yakuza man and the Mr. Satan Rings, as you always call me, gotta be doing his thing. You know how it is.
Oh, I know how it is. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Like I was just telling Slayer, that's your business. That's what you do. That's fine. I mean, I'll just make sure I keep some holy water with me at any time if you so crazy and douse your ass. If just there is any
Bro,
type
you
of
can't
situation.
touch no holy water. You catch fire, boy. What you talking
What are
about?
you talking about, man? I'm a man. Oh, stop it. All right, let me get on out of here, man. Get to the next person.
Look, see how quickly he ducked the
I
subject?
didn't cook anything, man. Listen. PK, what's happening with you, bro? What's happening? What's going on with you? See, I was going to ask these other chumps what games they've been playing. There's no need to ask because the other one's playing with new electronics. The other one is polishing boots and Satan rings. But you, I know you playing games. So what's going on with you,
I've been running game on Yakuza, bro. Don't even go there.
So what's going on with you, PK? What's happening, bro?
Hey, happy Friday, family and friends. I'm good. I'm glad to be here. Yes, I have been playing games, so I have been busy. Even though there's a lot of news, I poke my head up just to see some things. I have been pushing content on my channel, just keeping myself busy among all. But I've been having fun doing it all, so that's me.
Yes, no doubt. That's what it's all about, is having fun. That is what it's all about. And then last but not least, man, the man's been gone. And when he comes, he has to leave, but I think he's settled. I think he's pretty much in the right position right now. So hopefully we got him for the full show tonight. And what's going on with you 108 Dragons? Man, it's been a minute. And you know, look, what's going on, man? What games you been playing other than sockets?
To tell you the truth, I've been slacking on my pen because I've been trying to get this house and studio together. So
Right.
I just been, trying to get my stuff together. But happy Friday to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I see we out here. We got it's lit on these comments already. So I'm just looking forward to doing the show now. I don't know how long it's staying. I think I got to like 11-ish.
11-ish. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. We'll see. We'll see how that works. I don't know. But regardless, you know what I'm saying, it never fails. There's always somebody who has to leave, or they just
I
say,
gotta do
look,
cancel.
I'm doing this, I'm doing
Fridays
that.
is getting rough, see.
So it is what it is. So all right. So let's go on to. But yeah, no doubt.
Can
All
I
right.
mention something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I see gameplay that is so gangster in the background. I just want to point that out.
Listen here, man. You need to stop stroking yourself when we on the show. We're trying to get through it. God damn it.
Okay, Mega does it all the time.
I know exactly, and we call them all out.
And when my gameplay comes on, then people will know which one is the more superior. I mean, it's if we get to the point where we start getting everybody's gameplay again, then it'll get to the point to where people will make the choice while they're watching of what's fire, what's not. You know, I mean, and most likely mine will be number one, like it always is. So it is what it is. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. We do got a lot of things to discuss. So let's go ahead and just knock this out right out the bat. Let's talk about State of Play. Let's just get straight into it. What did you guys see? Because I seen it completely late. I was really busy. I had a lot of stuff going on. You know, wife's family came. They wanted me to go out and stuff like that. So then I came home and crashed. And then I didn't see nobody bragging and talking about it. So I was like, well, what's going on? Did I miss something? I thought, you know, because normally there's always PlayStation fans that's always bragging about something. But it was dead quiet when I got up and I looked and I checked. So I was kind of like, all right, well, let me go ahead and check it out. And so I watched it for myself. And so I'm just going to let the panel go ahead and say what they thought about the show overall. So let me go ahead and start off with you, Slayer. Talk about some of the games that you thought that had potential. Talk about the games that didn't. And then just tell us overall what you thought about the show.
Okay, overall, I gotta say, mostly the show was boring.
Oof.
The show was boring,
Oof.
but ironically, maybe even I took away 3 positive things about 3 things I don't think folks were really. Yeah, Christine, already in damage control mode before anybody even really spoke facts. But Chris, you might find I'm the only one here who's got anything positive to say, even though I know I just started off with boring. I do have 3 positive things to say. First off, Bug Snacks now, I'm getting the vibe of Viva Pinata, which ain't a bad thing. Viva Pinata was a very popular and loved game for its time.
Dude, Viva Pinata was awesome.
Exactly. A very popular and loved game of the time. So I'm getting that vibe of it now. It's definitely not for me, but for some, I was always a game with Pinata, but I saw the nature of it, and I gotta say, hey, okay, fine. And that's the vibe I get from the game now. So I'm still gonna clown on it because I'm sorry, Strawberry with the googly eyes, just wow, Sony, you can spend better money on other things. But hey, maybe it'll turn out to be something that's liked and remembered,
alone, right?
like better off than some other games we can name. But hey, there's that.
Maybe I want to get shot in the head.
Hey, I'm saying positive things, and everybody's like, so whatever. Secondly, what's that other game? The multiplat with the swords and the shield and all. Jesus Christ.
Godfall.
Thank you.
Godfall, yeah.
Godfall is looking a bit more interesting, I gotta say. Not too much. That's a game I might pick up on budget, on a price drop or whatever. Just mindless hack and slash. There's never anything wrong with a game like that. Some mindless hack and slash. Sometimes that's all you want and all you need. And I'm starting to see that in that game. And lastly was I forget the name where it's the eagle and the hawk. It's hawk and eagle are the 2 names of the 2 characters. I forget the name of the game, but it had a really strange name. That game also looked very, very interesting. Usually I'm not into these little artsy fartsy indie games, but this one, I don't know, I'm clicking with it. So those are the 3 positive things that I have to say of the show. But overall, it was pretty boring. It was pretty just, they showed a couple of things here and there. And Sony had made it very clear, if you looked at the description in the video, when they were having that little countdown, that was when I read it. And we're like, we're not going to show the cost of the PS5 or anything major like that. They made this very and they were very adamant about it, that it wasn't some big thing. Yeah, I wonder why. I don't even know why they even put these videos out at the time. That they could have showed this, back when they showed off everything else that they showed a month ago. I really don't see why they had to put these games and titles in a whole separate thing. It really wasn't worth doing that. But there you go. That's my opinion on the whole situation.
Okay, that was quick. I was expecting a little bit longer, but I mean,
we got like 5 topics. Everybody got to be quick.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, you guys was adamant to talk about it. Like I said, I was just trying to skip it completely. But I mean, look, and I understand that people wanted to hear you guys' take on it. So, all right, Bloody, go ahead.
Definitely gotta give that same energy,
Well, yeah, no doubt. Bloody, what was your thoughts about the state of play, man? I mean, what was some of the games that you thought that caught your attention, and basically, what was the games that just wasn't it? That was the game that was the standout. Like, no, that game is just not it. And then, what was your whole thought about the show? Period.
Looking at everything that they kind of showed off, a lot of especially the bigger multiplats, there was quite a few that actually had me excited. I'm really looking forward to Crash Bandicoot 4. Getting to see more of what they're doing with that game has me so excited, because Crash Bandicoot has a very, very special place for me.
Mm-hmm.
That was the game that really got me into gaming. And kind of seeing that we're finally getting a sequel, Crash Bandicoot, that hasn't really had a brand new Crash game in over a decade. And except for the remakes that we got with everything, but an actual like true sequel and brand new game, it's great to see it, and kind of what they're doing with it. It has me really excited. I like the way that they're using the different masks to add new mechanics. It looks very interesting. The way that they've really revamped the platforming in it looks really interesting. So I can't wait to see more of that. The VR missions for Hitman 3 is really cool. I'm glad that IO is being able to do a new Hitman. They've really done a great job with the reboot since Hitman 1 and 2. So it's good to see that they're doing more. The VR missions look really cool. So I'm really glad that PSVR is getting more love, because even though it's the most popular VR headset out there, it doesn't have anything that really says, yo, I need to go get a PSVR like right now. So that's one thing that's actually getting cool, to get a little bit more for that. The other biggest thing is Godfall. I'm kind of right there along with Sick, is that Godfall is actually looking much better, at least combat wise. So that one has me really excited, because of the fact that I was really interested when it was first announced. I do like hack and slash, and everyone knows I'm a big looter kind of person. So having a looter hack and slash is really interesting to see how that's going to play out. It's still obviously in early development, so the models and how it looks is going to hopefully improve over time. But I like the way that it already has a very nice aesthetic. I like the way that the gameplay looks, so I'm really looking forward to that, because now we actually got to see more of how the combat's actually going to play out. So that has me really excited with everything going forward. Other than that, kind of was sick as well. Bug Snacks is looking really kind of enjoyable, because
we about to mute both of y'all mics.
I told you guys. But when I started singing Bug Snacks, I told you guys.
We're not doing this.
He brings up a good point. I don't know about y'all guys, but I love the hell.
That game is going to sneak up on people. I'm telling people about Bug Snacks.
I've been very honest. Like, while we make jokes about it, I've always been interested in it, because of the fact that now, because like I said, the creators being the creators of Octodad, I really loved that game. I was like, that was a lot of fun. It was infuriating, but it was enjoyable. But now the fact that this is starting to look more like Viva Pinata, here's the thing. I really love the hell out of Viva Pinata, and still actually played it through the rare replay. So the fact that that's going to be a multiplat that brings back a lot of that feel, that's really cool. I'm kind of open to that, because of the fact that I kind of wanted them to do a new Viva Pinata game. So that's really cool that there's a game that's trying to do something similar to that, if that makes sense.
That's what you got from it, or you got from the look of it?
No, that's what I got from what they showed of it. Because that's the vibes I'm getting from it.
Okay, I got you. I just want to know, because Not
So
doing that. But go ahead.
That's kind of for me, like the new indie titles. There's always going to be indie showcases on any platform, so I'm glad that Sony's given more. But overall, the showcase was a showcase, is what I'm going to say. Like there was nothing that really blew me away. There was some stuff that was kind of cool, but other than that, there was nothing that just made me be like, "Oh man, that was amazing."
That's real PC of you, bloody. Real nice.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest. There's nothing that just made me go like, "Oh hell yeah," and there was nothing that made me be like, "Oh, this is trash." I'm just like, "Oh, it's a showcase." You know, it was very middle ground because a lot of the games that were shown are timed exclusives. Some of them are just exclusive content because, like with Crash Bandicoot, it's all launching on all platforms same day. It's just PlayStation's getting exclusive content a little bit, but other than that, there's nothing that really was cool. Like the biggest standout was the Hitman 3 in VR. That was it for me, anyways.
Okay.
So that was kind of my thoughts.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Let me go ahead. What was your thoughts?
Let me just say this for everybody watching all these damn showcases. All these games that's being showed, right? If we at E3, how many of these games would have actually been noticed at E3 in 3 days? How many, K-Mega? Is it a lot or a little bit?
A few.
They're gonna talk about
a few.
Right.
Yeah. Not that many.
We're getting to see more games being showcased from all these companies with videos and everything else, and people are complaining like if E3 happened, a lot of these smaller titles would not even be shown.
No.
Nope.
So I don't even know why people can complain about seeing games running. Now it may not be games for you, right?
Exactly.
It may not be games for you, right?
Yep.
But you're getting to say, well, I don't like what that looks like. Or you're getting to say, I'm interested in that. So nobody in no showcase should be complaining because we've been to E3 and we don't have all the time and hours in a day because we all know E3 don't run all day. It's a short time in 3 days, maybe 5 hours, right? You ain't getting an 8-hour experience, a 10-hour experience in E3. They closing the doors at 5 o'clock. They open at 11 in the morning some days it's 10, right? Am I right or wrong, K-Man?
No, you're right.
So when even people in
chat, and it was going to start later this year because of the journalists complaining about so many content creators getting the scoops first before they do. Yeah, so
I'm paying that $1,000 for that single ticket because I want to be in here as early as possible. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But people shouldn't be complaining. Everything is not for everybody. That's why you have options. Let me just say that for the record. Because I hear everybody, I ain't talking about on this panel, I'm just talking about in general. I look at the chat and on Twitter and these forums, I'm like, yo, y'all complain about everything. But y'all, like I said, if E3 didn't happen, y'all wouldn't even see half the stuff. Like the way you're seeing it now. You really wouldn't. But Godfall, let me get into that. I know that's a time exclusive. It's not an exclusive title. That made me feel good because I'm buying a PlayStation 5 day one. I'm buying 2 games.
You changed your mind?
I never changed my mind. I told you I was buying them day one for my content.
Well, you said you was hesitant when you was on a couple of weeks ago.
No, I said because I don't know if I can spend $500 just for Spider-Man. Right. That was true. But I know I'm going to do it. I already know. I'm just waiting for the pre-order call. But I saw in Godfall, and what really made me say I could play that, because unlike a lot of these other hack and slash games and RPGs, this is 3-player co-op online. So that would give me a reason.
It's very much like Destiny, but
with swords.
Yeah.
So that would give me a reason to go on my PlayStation and play online, because everything I play on PlayStation is single player. So I'm very intrigued about that. They had this RPG that had like these cartoon graphics, and the girl was walking in the desert. She was fighting big horses. I don't know the name of it. I thought that was awesome.
Gaijin?
That's what it is. And she fought like a fiery boss, and she was sneaking around it.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. That's multi-plat too, but that's a game. I see that looked dope. I don't buy a bunch of indie titles. That would be my boy 100. He take a chance with all that crap. But I really see the good ones, and I pick them up. Or the good ones I think is good. Or the ones I think is good. And then, for me, I have a PlayStation VR. You know I love Vader Immortal. That's big for me. and I'm a big Hitman fan. Hitman was one of the games back in the days that really put that espionage feel in your house, sneaking around, killing people. You know what I'm saying? Besides that, and Splinter Cell and Siphon Filter, those are the games I was really deep into. So to see them have a VR mode, I was very excited for that. What else? There's one more. I know it ain't Bug Snaps, but I ain't going that route. But there's one more. It's another game they showed, and I thought it was pretty good.
That game that I was going to say, the game that that Slayer was talking about earlier was called Pathless.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The name was so strange, but at the same time, it's kind of fitting for the motif they're going. So yeah.
Right.
But I on all, I thought the show was a solid showing because, like I said, these developers are getting more limelight with no E3 that they would never got on that showroom floor. Because like me and K Mega, our feet was killing us, and you walk by so many games that got two monitors showing them in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't get the limelight. So now when they put them in a showcase like this and you're watching it, you're focused on that one screen. And they're putting it in front of you. People, we got to look at what's going on here. We're in a pandemic, and for those of you who haven't experienced E3, the facts of the matter is these games are getting showcased to you. You can't sit here and complain about everything. Everything. We're crying like big-ass babies on being shown games that people are trying to sell to us, that people are trying to entertain you. Nah, we got to take the good and the bad, man. And like I said, Bug Snacks ain't my type of game, or what they've showed me. I haven't seen none because I play Viva Pinata religiously. But that don't mean it's not for other people. So we have to really like stop with the nonsense, man, with this complaining. Like,
Exactly.
I saw Twitter. I thought it was good.
Oh, okay. You thought the show was good.
How can you complain about anybody showing you shit you ain't gonna see? Oh, you wouldn't got a chance to see.
I'm just saying, I'm not to you. Yeah.
I'm not to you because we know how E3 works.
Right.
Yeah.
They talk about all the major stuff, or whoever paid for that advertising, because it's all about that check.
Mm-hmm.
And these small developers ain't got that check to cut to get that limelight. You go to E3, you see Spider-Man on a whole side of a building.
But
we know Spider-Man coming.
But there's a question. There's a question that needs to be asked though.
What?
So does this show that Sony really doesn't really have a strong, like, exclusive lineup to start off
of launch?
Yeah,
no, they don't.
Launch.
I'm
Okay.
buying 2 games.
Right.
I'm only buying 2 games. You know what I'm saying? I was skeptical about Godfall, but what I saw, I said I could rock with that. Then you can go online with 3 of your friends. That's 3 of my friends on PlayStation that I could play with. You understand what I'm saying? I can go with that. And they showed more. They got deeper into the combat. They got deeper into the progression. They got deeper into how you change the weapons. Then they got like a Captain America sword mode. Shield mode. I thought that was fire. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite things in Destiny 2 is when you you power up your shield and you could basically do the Captain America move. So I said, I could do that. So it got me interested, you know what I'm saying? And they did a nice little walkthrough and explain to you, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that was the turning point when the game was just like generic to me, and I'm like, I can mess
because
with
what they
this
showed in
now.
the beginning, anybody jumped on board from the beginning had to be a clown because they didn't show you anything. They showed you cutscenes and trailer. You know, it was a trailer. But now you sit down and see the gameplay and they explain it to you. This is what you're doing. You could parry. You could do this. You're fighting through your way of hordes of enemies. Sometimes you get jumped and then you fighting a big god at the end. And then these armors, you got the different armors that give you these abilities. Oh, now you're like, okay. That's what made me say, okay, so I'm putting that on my list. I'm buying that and Spider-Man.
All right, cool. All right, PK, you last one on this topic. What was your thoughts about the show? What was the games that had you excited? What was the games that maybe
we messed up. Sorry, K-Mega. We did mess up. We got to get that super chat from
that's right.
Child of God.
Yeah.
Word.
That was just about to.
Let me hit it up real quick.
Go ahead.
Before you start, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Shout out to my boy Thomas Franks, one of the greatest supporters in the building.
Amen.
What's good, GRG, K-Mega, and crew? Let's talk about PlayStation entanglement with indie games and how the sweetness awaits. You see, you're getting messy, man.
Bro, hey, you know what? But
thanks for that $4.99 chat,
yeah,
man.
thank you, appreciate it. But that's the thing, though. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, PK. He must be having some internet issues because he was just in and now he popped out. Maybe because he was having some mic issues when he came on here. So I might as well just say how I felt about it. The the show was underwhelming. I mean, let's just be honest. I looked at it by myself, and I'm always anticipating games and shows, and it doesn't matter how boring they are. So there were some games that caught my interest. I mean, that's always going to happen. There's not going to be one show that's going to come out or event that's going to come out that there's not a game or two or more that I'm not going to be interested in. So there was games that I was interested in, but again, here we go with all of this speculation of all of these hype factors to come, and they're trying to make State of Play better than Inside Xbox or even better than what the Xbox event was. And every time, State of Play has not lived up to the billing. And really, if you look at it overall, I mean, it's at the point to where now it should be where PlayStation fans just have to just go ahead and bite the bullet and just tell the truth. Xbox has had the better showing games than anybody else during this whole, pandemic situation. They have showed the better lineup of games, hands down. There shouldn't be any question about that. Because while people are still trying to think it's cute to talk about Craig, but people are still talking more about Xbox than what the state of the play was this just yesterday. I mean, let's just be honest. So, for me, of course, Bugsnax, it's just that one of the cute games. The line, it caught me right off the bat with the song. So I'm like, hey, you know what? I play that. It's goofy. It's weird. I don't have any, I don't know. I mean, it's not something that I'm like clamoring for, just expecting to jump on it day one. But it's a game that I would definitely play because it's so bizarre. And I don't think I played anything like that because I wasn't into Viva Pinata. I never played it. I got it on the whatchamacallit, but I never played it. Never gave it a chance. So also let's see. I heard a lot of people talking about Temtem, or I think that's how you say it, right? Temtem. Yeah.
Temtem.
You're not gonna let me talk about it?
Yeah, he was talking.
You dropped out, PK. You dropped out 3 times.
I had technical difficulties.
You on a TIE fighter.
So how is it that you're going to sit there and say, "Are you going to talk about it?" I was over here just filling in until you came back in.
Right.
Yep, I'm back.
Okay, well wait. All right. So anyway, so what was you going to say, Bloody, about Temtem?
Temtem is actually really cool because a lot of people have, and especially for Nintendo fans, right? Everyone for years, for almost decades, have wanted a MMO style Pokemon game. Mm-hmm. Well, no one got anything like that. We never got anything like that. But Temtem was one of the closest to that, being its own Pokemon style game. And it actually had a lot of success when it launched on Steam earlier this year. And I actually was playing it on Steam. And I thought the fact that they were wanting to branch out and do more consoles and other platforms was a great thing. So seeing that they showed it during the PlayStation showcase was great to see more of what that game's going to be able to do before it goes to Switch, Xbox, or wherever else it's going to go. And that's just what those fans, especially you got to think of how diehard Pokemon fans are, especially for Nintendo. That's one of their biggest flagship names outside of obviously Zelda and Mario. Pokemon is absolutely synonymous with Nintendo. So with the fact that they never got anything like that, even with how many people have mixed feelings with it with Pokemon Go and things like that, that was the closest anyone got to a actual Pokemon game in the real world / MMO, which it really didn't fit the bill all that well. But Temtem filled that role that everyone was really hoping for. And I'm glad that they got to show more of it because I feel like after it launched and there was a lot of big excitement around it, Temtem kind of unfortunately it lost its showcase and limelight because of everything else that was coming out at the same time as that game right afterwards.
Yeah, because I've never heard of it before. But go ahead. All right, PK. Are you there?
I am here, but I don't. Bloody talk for me, so I'm good now.
Well, how did Bloody talk for you? You were out, and then I was just letting Bloody just say something about Temtem.
It's
So,
cool.
but this is your turn to go ahead and talk about the event.
Um, the event was solid. It showed a bunch of games that are coming out for multiplats. So it's gonna have a lot of good games to look forward to. Um, that wasn't showcased prior. Uh, I would say that the Genshin Impact I thought, was announced for all platforms last year, but at least they didn't say it's exclusive PlayStation. It just said it's coming out for PlayStation. So I don't know if it's gonna come out for other platforms. At least I thought it was announced for all platforms last year.
Yeah, there's a lot of these. Most of the games that was shown are going to be on uh, Xbox, PC, Nintendo. They're going to be elsewhere for sure. Those weren't all. I don't. I'm trying to think what game except for. I mean, even Godfall is going to be on
Godfall is a
PC.
time exclusive, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's a time, and I think that might eventually come to Xbox as well. But I just I don't know. We don't know that yet. But if it is, it'll probably be a year exclusive. But anyway, go ahead.
Um. So yeah, there's some games that stood out, like Genshin Impact and uh, Crash 4 um, and Temtem is a indie game or whatnot that was made to kind of crave the appetite for Pokemon, like a slight MMO. It uses the same battle system
Hmm.
and the same setup and everything, but at least you can play with your friends online, whatnot. Um, but um, far as the other titles, I'm not impressed with Godfall. I'm not. It does not look good to me at all. It really looks like a rehash trash of some other game I've already played. I'm just not impressed with that game, but that's just me. Um, but I didn't care for Bugsnax. I did like the Hood game, and I think that's also multiplat.
Yeah, that is multiplayer.
Um, there was one other title that stood out to me, but I'm having a brain for it right now. But overall, that the games I'm super excited to see come into the console are the Genshin Impact, because that wasn't a console game at first, and Temtem also was not a console game at first. So both of those games coming to console is great. I highly doubt that'll go to Switch, since it is more like a direct competitor than it is anything else.
To Pokemon.
Yeah, the Pokemon. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And yeah, I think of how
If
behind right
if
now.
Temtem does well on console, as well as it has done on Steam the last 6 months, then Pokemon will finally have a direct competitor, which will
That's by itself, definitely.
force Game Freak to actually get their life together, or maybe fire them against somebody else. I don't know.
Okay. The game that you was talking about was Hood Outlaws and Legends.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the game. Yeah, that's definitely a multiplat as well. Yeah, no, I was thinking. While I was waiting for you to come back in here, I was thinking of the same game that you were talking. The Gaijin, that looked dope. That looked real dope.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Genshin Impact,
yeah,
is that
Genshin,
is that
Genshin, yeah, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that looked good.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not interested in none of the VR stuff. VR is the only VR game I like is Beat Saber, and I think that's the most popular VR game on all platforms.
It's got to be one of, if not the. It's definitely.
It's three main games that's very, 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 very popular. Star Wars game, Beat Saber, and Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, so
Those are three main ones. So those are the three main ones.
yeah, me personally, that would be the only one that I would like to jump in and play on a regular is Beat Saber.
Super Hot is dope in VR too.
Oh, I didn't even I'd seen people play that, but I didn't try that.
Yeah, Super Hot is dope in VR.
Yeah, I've heard really good things for the VR.
Yeah, I played it. It's dope.
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I know that the Star Wars game. I know that was
Awesome.
pretty popular.
It sounds incredible, King Mega.
You know I don't care about VR like that.
No, but I'm talking about the sound. Like that's the best sounding VR. Oh my God.
Well, the production of Star Wars games are usually pretty top notch. Yeah, so that game they can never complain about a Star Wars game. Their sound quality is their production is always top notch.
We was at E3. I took 100. Once you play that game, you're gonna be hooked. This is bugging. I ain't buying no VR. He went right home and copped that VR for 400 and something because of that game. It's very, very deep. Yeah. And it's nice. But I'm gonna say this before we get into the next topic. Mm-hmm. For my PlayStation people out there, I just picked up Final Fantasy for $40. It's on sale on the PlayStation Store. Go get that if you ain't got it already.
All right.
$40.
Yep. Go ahead and pick it up and listen to Barrett talk like somebody from
yo. I stubbed my big toe on the
Yeah. Right.
Hey, that game is funny. That game is funny.
Barrett lives matter.
It's more than funny, but yeah, I mean, it's a good game. I mean, I've enjoyed it, but but what makes me put the stick down is every time when Barrett talks, I'm just kind of like, man, is there a mute button? Can I just read what he's saying?
I like when he talks.
There's times where
I know you couldn't be trusted. I told you.
Boy, he sounds so annoying. What was you gonna say, Bloody?
Come, boy.
Christ! Wow.
Just annoying, man. Just annoying. That's why I was like, man, I'll just have to play this later. But yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
I'm about to light you up. All right.
Who you talking to?
Chris, my boy.
Oh, here we go.
Hang on. You listen here, Chris. I don't ever have any issues with you, and I'm out here showing love to the Sony, and I'm streaming it. But how are you, Mr. diehard Sony fan, saying you haven't copped Final Fantasy VII yet?
You know what, Bloody? You know what?
Okay, look.
You're my boy, but come on now. Don't do that.
He's officially out of there. Wait a minute. Okay, so this man does not have Final Fantasy VII, and it's not like I mean, because if you wanted to, and I don't even know if he got The Last of Us 2 or Ghost of Tsushima.
I know. Hang on. He's got. Hang on. No. He's got Ghost of Tsushima. Me and him have talked about it, and he's giving me tips at certain points. I know he's got Ghost of Tsushima. Hang on. No.
And I'm like,
don't call him out on Ghost of Tsushima. He backed up on that.
Okay. But he don't have the Last of Us 2. Like I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if he has The Last of Us 2. I don't know about that one, but I don't even have that one. So
Yo, Bloody, I'm in here buying $200 versions of Last of Us 2 doing unboxings, and he don't even got the digital copy.
Bro.
I mean, I got
what
that.
Is he doing?
I got that unboxing video coming up of the Ghost of Tsushima collection.
All right, so let me get this right. Okay, so Chris will be in the and I know that we getting a little long with Chris, but then we go get to this next topic.
It's easy work.
But I do want to make one more point about the show before we get to the next point. But Chris, I got to say this though. I myself get labeled, and you're right there with them, labeling me as this super duper Xbox fanboy, and I supposedly hate PlayStation and this and that, and I've already beat Ghost of Tsushima, and you haven't.
Yo.
I'm about to get a platinum on that because I'm just like. I think altogether I'm like 50 items away from.
You've been singing the praise of that game,
and you'll see my gameplay on the video a little bit later.
Yeah, been talking about it.
So you mean to tell me you haven't beat that game yet? and you don't have The Last of Us 2 to say, well, I was playing that, or Final Fantasy 7 to say that I was playing that as well. Oh my
This is
God.
okay,
Okay.
man.
All right. So let me.
Yo, my
Let me.
controller don't charge no more.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
Yo.
Let me get to my last point about the state of play thing, man.
That's what
All
it
right.
is.
All right, he's playing on hard mode. I can understand that because I'm playing on
He's
hard
a
mode.
liar.
I'm playing on hard mode, and when you get your swords completely sharpened, you get everything maxed out, your armor,
Talk
all of
about
that.
it.
You'll still chop through them, and the AI is not, even on hard mode. The AI is not smart. You could get in ghost mode and dissect these fools.
Facts.
Now the dudes with the arrows.
I think
ridiculous.
Cootie actually watched me. There was one
The
part
dude-
where
the dudes
they randomly saw me, and I
Yeah.
literally just stood on top of a platform, and
Yeah.
they just went up the ladder one by one, and I
And you
just
just
killed
hacked
every
them.
one of
Man,
them.
On hard mode, the AI is the
platform.
worst. Is the worst thing of the game, other than a couple of bugs. But the game is great. It's fun.
It really is great. It's
Now
great.
playing against Samurai. Now you doing your one-on-one battles or getting your mystic weapons. Now that's you're gonna die if you get through it the first time. You're a bad son of a gun. But yeah, other than that, okay. So let's not because I've been talking about Ghost of Tsushima a lot here lately. It's a great game though.
It is. All right.
My one point I want to say about this.
Some more boxes. I ain't messing with you.
The one point I want to say about the state of play is this. You know what? It's really funny, and this is one thing that I hope that Xbox gamers pick up on, is that when things go bad or things don't look up to snuff, just look at the Sony community where how they treat things. They get quiet. They don't say nothing.
They get real quiet.
I mean, look, this
Again.
is. I mean, I understand that Xbox gamers, there's a different, diverse group of us. Like, because you have some people that's very boisterous. You got other people that just kind of lean back. You got other people that's just completely die hard. It doesn't matter. Nothing Xbox does is wrong. But you know what I'm saying? But even as good as the Xbox event was, there were still people complaining.
Facts.
Still complaining. Like there was still something that was so terribly wrong where you had some people saying, well, I think I might be done. And I'm kind of like, what are you talking about? And then, but with the state of play, nothing. So if Xbox had a state of play moment like they did with this, just think about let's see if the PlayStation fans would have been, or I should say the stands, would have been quiet about it, and they wouldn't. So anyway, I digress on it. That's why I really didn't want to talk about it, because I just thought the show was lackluster overall. I gave it a C-. Because if these games were exclusive to only PlayStation, then I would have gave it a B+, because there were some games that I wanted. But all of these games are going to eventually come to PC or Xbox, and so I'm going to get a chance to play those games. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and then like the Alan Wake thing, I like that. All that marketing stuff, which we'll be getting into here in a little bit, is like all for nothing, because the Alan Wake thing would have been huge for Sony to pick up and to hold on to, but that's going to be on Xbox day one, and maybe that was part of the negotiations that they had. Xbox.
The new expansion for Control is coming first to PlayStation.
I looked
and then
and said on August 27th it was going to be on everything.
I believe they're getting it first for a little bit, but
Who cares?
It's set the 27th. But anyway, we're going to get
either
into
way,
that
they
here a
got
little
the
bit
marketing for it. That's all that matters.
Okay, so yeah, I guess so. We'll get into that. All right, so let's get into the next topic, which is talking about Platinum Games. Platinum Games just won't get out of the way. They got to always say something. So just earlier this week, Platinum Games, one of the people from Platinum Games, what is his name?
Hideki Kamiya.
Okay, I was going to ask him or PK. You or PK, how you say his name? And he asked, he told, there was fans that still brought up Scalebound, because of course Scalebound is that type of game that was very intriguing. And for what he asked, he says, look, write, email, text, whatever, to Phil Spencer, telling them that Platinum Games want to do the game all over again, and if not, sell the IP to Platinum Games. Either one will do. Now, I'm going to go to you, PK. What in the world would you think? I mean, I don't know what your stance is on Platinum Games. I mean, we know that like they make good games. But would you, if you were the CEO and you already had a situation happen with them with this particular title, would you give them a second chance, or even be in the consideration of selling the IP to them after the situation happened between the two companies? Or if just like, what do you think, man? Like, is this even logical for Platinum Games to keep on pursuing this at this point?
So I think he's begging because he's looking to. They don't have any AAA games. You say they make good games. I think they make mediocre games.
Okay.
They have never made a AAA game. Never. You tell me one, and I'll shut up. But at this point,
Right.
they never have. All their games are mediocre, and they all are okay for the time. Not even the popular. Near Automata is a AAA. Let's be honest. That's mediocre, and I like those kind of games. And I could not play through that game more than once, and you have to play it 3 times to get the true ending. And I couldn't do it. And that's saying a lot. I love Bayonetta, but I couldn't stand Near Automata, even though I do like the character model. Overall, they messed up. They dropped the ball hard when it came to Scalebound. Not only does it not look to the par of what a AAA is supposed to be, even though it looks okay, it just don't look to that standard. They were using the resources, and I know this is allegedly, that they were getting paid from Microsoft to fund their other projects. So if I'm paying you to paint my house, and you taking the money to go do work for someone else, and my house ain't painted, and then you come back and say, give me another shot, what do you think I'm going to say? I don't have to be a CEO. You can just be a regular guy. And you know what the answer is. Heck no. We're not doing this. You done took my money. You basically robbed me, breached a contract, and went to go do other things because you thought you can get away with it. And here it is. Now it's in your face. Now, not only can you not finish this project, regardless if you feel like it's petty or not, I'm going to bury this project. I'm going to say never again. Matter of fact, I don't want nobody touching it. I'm just going to put it in a little box, put it on my shelf, and just look at it like something we could have had and move on.
You're going to be on your EA. You're going to be on your EA with Dead Space, huh?
It's just not going to ever happen again because every time we talk about this title, bad feelings come up. It's like an old love song that bring up bad breakups. You don't want to experience that no more. So we just gonna put it away and forget about it, and forget about Platinum Games. They're not a great developer. They have not shown any title that's a AAA. It was too big for them. It was too large for them. That's why they didn't focus on it. They like doing games for Nintendo and things like that because they're small and easy put together. And you don't need to have a writer because none of the stories make any sense. They don't have to have anything.
Damn,
they just put together a bunch of action games and that's it. Now I'm just saying, don't get me wrong, I love action games. I love them to death.
Right.
But look at their track record. Even look at the license. We talked about this before. Look at the license track record they have. When they did Star Fox 2 for Nintendo, that flopped that was like the worst Nintendo game with Nintendo's brand on it. Star Fox 2 was trash. People forgot about it. That's how bad it was. People forgot that they did that. Don't get me started with the other licensed games. But my point is they do not deserve a second chance, nor will anybody else get one after doing what they did.
So you think that Phil will not ever?
He won't. I think he wants to not ever give. He don't even want to mention the sentence or the name just so that it doesn't give them any kind of publicity. Sometimes it's better to ignore them than it is to acknowledge they exist. And that's the best kind of I won't even say revenge, but that's the best way to deal with it. Is
Well,
like,
he
look,
said he still has a good relationship, and of course, those games are on Xcloud. They have put Near Automata on Xcloud.
but that's not owned by them.
Yeah.
They don't own that
Oh,
IP.
okay.
They don't own Bayonetta or Nier. None of that. Matter of fact, none of the IPs that were popular they own. They don't own none of that. They might have done work for them because they were contracted to do it, but that's Sega. Sega's Bayonetta. That's Square for Nier. That's
Right.
you know what I mean. That has nothing to do with them. They don't own. They
developers. That's what they are.
Exactly.
They don't create the IPs. They just do a job.
And they did a crappy job. Now they mad because they want an IP for themselves so that they don't keep doing work for other people. That's their fault. They position themselves that way. That's what they're known for. Now, when they stop trying to hustle people for doing Kickstarters to port a garbage port to the Switch or PlayStation, and then try to lie and say it can't work on the Xbox, then maybe we could talk. Maybe you should start a Kickstarter to make your own game.
When you get it better, it'll be better. You hear me?
Now,
But-
that's pretty great.
But yeah, so I would say once they fire from doing something like messing with your money, I don't think you would hire them again. And that's just saying you or anybody else. Nobody would. Nobody in their right mind would.
No doubt. All right. What about you? I was going to go to 108, but he sounded like he's talking in the background with somebody. All right. So, Slayer, what about you, man? Would you give him another opportunity?
Podcast, but I'm about to go to Mamo's house. You need anything?
What? Lemon. We can hear you.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So, okay. Go ahead. Go.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
You know what? You can't go in bloody talking about giving out your business away.
You got to mute him manually.
Oh, man.
Hey.
All right, hold on.
Hey, you put the dog out yet? You take out the trash?
Man.
Let me text him. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
so, okay.
Go ahead.
Mostly you can copy pasta everything that PK said.
Oh, my bad.
Right?
What?
I'm sorry. Yo, Lemon.
Lemon. Yeah,
We heard
everything you were saying in the background, bro.
I'm talking to my dog and my daughter.
Okay,
my bad.
but everybody
my
can
bad.
hear you. Yeah.
My bad. I thought the mic was muted. I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So,
Go ahead, man.
Everything you could. Well, 95% of what PK said, I gotta co-sign. You can copy paste most of that. But like what Christina said, she just said it a second ago. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I want to be mad, but PK is preaching truth, and yeah, I feel exactly the same way. Because yeah, they've never made any AAA games, but they have made a couple of games that are close to my heart. 3 I can name off bat: Bayonetta, Vanquish, and Metal Gear Rising, and the quality level is actually in that order as well. But everything else that PK said is facts. Platinum, fuck Platinum. You know what they did. We know what they did. They were like, they looked at Microsoft like, oh, this is a stupid American company. We'll take their money. We'll fund our other projects. And then, we'll work on the game a little bit when we have time in the corner, whatever. But Microsoft came calling to see what's up. They've been spending their money. They're going to come and check. And hey, and this is all alleged, but no one's ever came up and said an alternate, timeline of events or anything. Pretty much no one's ever argued against the rumors that are going on. Nobody's made anything clear about what's going on. And then, with like what happened with Wonderful 101, I call that from day one. Like, why is this not on Xbox if you're porting it to everything? It's on PC even, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you don't put it on Xbox? Really?
Yeah.
How? What? Like, are you stupid? They must be stupid, frankly, because number one, they did this to Microsoft and thought they weren't going to get caught. And obviously, they have no business acumen to know if you're just going to port the game to everything, why would you leave out a platform? Like, especially that game, especially with their engine, is just recompile to Xbox. It's the same engine they use in most of their games. What the hell? The hell with Platinum. They've done too many times. But as for Scalebound, the IP, I can understand what PK is saying, but I feel that if they could find a developer a Japanese developer, or they even have to be a Japanese developer. Maybe it could be Ninja Theory. That's a side project they could do in the future, whatever. Bring that back and bring it to the way it was supposed to have been. Like Metal Gear Rising was supposed to have made by Konami, and they had issues, and they gave it to Platinum, and Platinum, made the game, kind of different than what it originally was, but a popular and successful game in and of itself. And maybe the same could happen for Scalebound one day in the future, but not right now. Right now, put that in the box, up on the shelf. You sit and you think and you do your process to come up with ideas and concepts for a game before you put money towards actual development. So this time you don't make that mistake with this IP if you finally decide to make the game finally, which is hopefully what's going on with Dead Space one day too, I hope. But yeah, man, the hell with Platinum, they screwed it up. This is all on them. It's all their own fault, and they deserve all the crap they're getting. And so now he wants to beg on the internet. Like, you could have just not said anything, and we already had no love for you and no respect. Now you're less than crap to me. The hell with this out.
Bring him over here.
I say he thought he's supposed to. He said he was going to have his stuff muted. Oh man. Anyway,
even though it's his turn.
Yeah. Yeah. He can't go bloody. When he gets back on, let him have it.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Are you done, Slayer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, bloody. It's your go, man. What is your thoughts, man? I mean, is it?
Man.
Bro, I mean, does it make sense at this point for Platinum to keep continuing to try to encourage not only Microsoft to try to get this game, to try to get this IP back, but for the Xbox gamers too? Because I think they also, I don't know at this point, is it just a trolling thing, or is it actually a thing where they want to try to convince Xbox gamers that they are right for Scalebound?
At this point, it's hard to know, because when you look at Kamiya, is that he's built a cult of personality, kind of like Hideo Kojima kind of did. He's on that rock star level mentality because he has a name that everyone recognizes, especially with what he's founded with Platinum Games and stuff like that. But you got to think, I love Vanquish. Vanquish was a really underrated gem last gen, and it was part of the remake with Bayonetta. Those were two of the real big games for Platinum, right? That really kind of stood out. And obviously Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Platinum has a history of really doing great with action RPGs. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance absolutely is amazing. I have a lot of fun with it. Really captured the essence of Metal Gear, but more fast-paced, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, those games, while they were popular and enjoyable, were not the games that made Platinum the level that they were. That was not what made them big and famous. Platinum has always been the kind of developer and studio. They're just like, hey, we're going to take on as many projects as we can because we got to do everything we can to bring in. Nier Automata was their big standout game that really made everyone recognize Platinum as a big developer. But here's the thing. Hideki Kamiya was not the director of that game. People need to realize that Kamiya is just a face, but he is not the overall everything. The reason Nier Automata stood out and was as popular as it was because of the director who was behind that, which is Yoko Taro. Yoko Taro is the one who absolutely has a lot more talent as a director and story writer, because he wrote the story for the original and he wrote the story for the second one for Nier Automata and was the director, and why those games were the ones that were so popular that made Platinum more of a staple. Right now, we've seen how Kamiya has handled many projects and has this very rockstar kind of screw you attitude. And it has really, some people are just like, yeah, Kamiya, you can do whatever you want. Others are like, dude, are you really getting away with saying that kind of stuff? If any developer else said that, they would be like lit up in an instant. He thinks that because he has that cult of personality that he can say whatever he wants and that people are going to back him. Look at what we've talked about him in the past with how he calls fans and others insects, and they want to be like degraded by the man. Mm-hmm. Like they want that. So the issue is, I really don't know if he actually wants to go into this project because of the fact that he absolutely wants to, or he's doing it as a kind of show of personality and as well as a trying to, hey, you know what, cash grab, give me money kind of thing, like everyone says, which is kind of one of those things. Yeah, Phil Spencer has absolutely said, yeah, we would love to work with Platinum Games more in the future. We saw that they have done, obviously they're bringing some. Platinum is porting more of their games over now, especially we saw with Vanquish and the Bayonetta remakes. However, that was more of the pull from Sega's side of things, not necessarily because of what Platinum themselves have done, especially as we saw with the wonderful 101 Kickstarter program and how that whole situation kind of panned out with how they treated everything. They're like, yeah, we're gonna focus on PlayStation and Switch and then PC and maybe Xbox in the future. It's like, no, why are you gonna come to them to say, hey, we want to work on this project when you're obviously not giving them any sort of reason to, when you're not bringing a lot of your other projects over as it is, especially when they look at everyone knows that Wonderful 101 was kind of a bust, but you look at it in that facts is that that's what happened, that's the issue. So him putting out the, hey, Phil, let's do this again. No, it's not going to happen. Phil already knows. We've talked to Phil. We've heard from people who've heard Phil speak on that. What he saw with that game, he wasn't happy with that game. He's not going to do anything with it. I'm kind of with what Six said. He's going to put it in a box, put it up on the shelf, and let the idea sit for a while before he realizes or thinks about who can he trust with that project, who out of the studios that they have right now would he want to do that project, or who has an interest in that project, or if he finds another studio that he would want to do that project, who could he do? Obviously, we've all talked about Ninja Theory, right? Because Ninja Theory has that background with action RPGs. I was one of the first people to kind of hate on Ninja Theory, and I don't ever talk. I never deny how I thought. I was not okay with them remaking Devil May Cry when they did the reboot with DMC, because of the fact that I grew up with what Devil May Cry was with what Capcom did, and I was just like, why are they rebooting it? That's not the Dante I know. I'm not okay with this game. And right before Ninja Theory got acquired, or right after they got acquired, you all heard me play through DMC and say, yo, this is actually really dope. And I said that I feel bad that I gave them so much hell on it, because it actually surprised me with how good of an action RPG it is. They are great with hack and slashes. If he wants a big open world action RPG, kind of what Scalebound was intended, the one person I could see doing something like that is Ninja Theory. There are others who could potentially do it. We see Obsidian has done, RPGs, but never an action RPG. So it could be something for them to really stretch themselves out, because, Obsidian is master of RPGs. We've seen them do every subgenre of RPG under the sun, whether it's turn-based, whether it's isometric, whether it's a dungeon crawler, whether it's first person. We've kind of seen them dabble in every aspect. Why not let them try an action RPG? There's so much potential right now. There's still so many bad feelings on Scalebound that we still talking to it to this day, when it was canceled and shut down 5 years ago. We're still talking about it, and we still have mixed feelings on that game. Do we want something to happen with it at some point? Yes. But right now, no. There's still too much on it that it does need time to really sit. And I think Kamiya is just, again, doing a show of, hey, guess what? I have a personality and I have people who will do whatever I say. Let's do it. And Phil, while he's playing the nice guy, we know he's in the background that he's like, I saw what that game was the first time. No, I don't think that giving you guys more money to try and work on this game again is going to do anything big. I'm just going to let it sit.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I don't think anybody. I don't know. I just don't. It's just not a good fit anymore. They had the opportunities. There's just no reason to do it. Lemon, are you there? Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back, son.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oreo, shut the hell up. Sit your ass down.
All right. So what is your thoughts about this, man? With Platinum Games, man,
what's
here bringing it
incredible?
up again.
This is amazing. This is less important than State of Play was. That's a fact.
Less or more?
It was less.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. They begging because they need a check. They just bamboozled us over Beautiful 101, which is, Wonderful 101, which I love that game. It's a horrible port for PlayStation, PC, and Switch. It is horrendous. So I didn't buy it again because I wanted it again because I got rid of my Wii U early when I peaked that Nintendo was falling apart quick. But why are we even talking about these dudes? They are, won't we just call them what they are? They're thieves. They stole money. Let's be real here. They feel that's what they did, bloody.
No. I'm saying there's a lot of people who say that about them, is what I'm saying. They feel that way about them.
They're as bad as your man Hideo Kojima disrespecting the Western gamer.
That's what I do.
Why? And listen, I'm not like PK. No, they don't make AAA titles. Bayonetta, Vanquish, Nier Automata are not AAA titles, but they're good damn titles. They make great Astral Chain. I got Astral Chain also, right?
That one I haven't played yet.
Solid. I got that on my Switch. Solid. But it's more of a Japanese style game that they make. But they're thieves. The conversation with Phil is dead. He said the game is not coming back. There is no maybes. It's not no rumor. I've been told from people who's had conversations with this man, it's over. They could beg all they want. They could plead to the public. Was you pleading to the public when you was using the money to make other Japanese titles for other consoles? You're disrespectful. You get saucy and get in the public and talk reckless. Phil always going to say the politically correct thing because he's supposed to be politically correct. He can't come out there and say, Platinum Games can kiss my ass. He's not going to do that. Oh, we'd be happy to work with them in the future. Obviously not. You ain't cutting them no check for nothing.
Exactly.
They're disrespectful. They shouldn't be given a chance. We shouldn't. We gonna give them that smoke on this podcast, but they be bugging. And when it was shown at E3, Microsoft took their game and made that demo reasonably playable, frame rate and everything. They didn't even do it for the last time it was shown. Phil said, that's it. Because ain't no company in the world has ever gave Platinum Games a AAA budget. 5, 6 million, okay. You never got 150 million in your life. Never. No, it's dead. And that dude, and what's the other guy's name that got sent with Platinum Games, bloody?
Yoko Taro.
He need to branch off because this man gonna burn him at the bridge.
And that's
he likes to drink that sake and run his mouth. But eventually, they're gonna go down. They're gonna eat a lot of words because that one guy.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Even Cliff Belinsky had to take a break. Like, wait, hold up. Maybe I was wrong. Yeah, maybe you was wrong.
Yep.
Pump your brakes.
He has a cult of personality.
Right. He's retarded. So pump your brakes because your partner's all right. But what you're going to keep doing is you're going to keep talking and you're going to burn that bridge.
Yeah.
Microsoft ain't dealing with them.
Yeah, because you missed what I said, but I said that Platinum was not a big name until the success of Nier Automata.
No, I didn't. I was here. My mic was muted. I was here. I heard you. I'm a Platinum dude, son.
I mean, the first Automata, I mean, it didn't do numbers.
No,
or anything,
the first one, the first one.
It is a good game,
but it was not.
They don't have a 30. They don't have a 30.
It's like PK said. They don't have a AAA. They don't have a AAA.
They don't have a triple. No, they don't.
AAA game.
They make good small games.
Yeah,
I mean, PK said it. Nier
Automata is what put them on the map, and that was because of Yoko Taro, not because of Hideki.
Well, PK. No, it was Microsoft's budget. It was Microsoft's budget money that sit there and put.
Everyone really recognized Platinum after the success of Nier Automata.
No.
They had other good games.
Thank you for the follow, Will. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Platinum for 2 games, Vanquish and Bayonetta. That's what got them popular, not Nier Automata. Let's
No,
not get
I'm saying they got recognition, but they didn't become massive. Yes,
yes, they did.
This is
Yes, they
proof.
did. I'm a huge fan.
Well, the media propped up and talked real high of Nier Automata, and matter of fact, they were even trying to talk it up as being as a game of the year title. So that's how a lot of people got
into platinum.
got
That's
into
what I'm saying.
the platinum games because nobody wasn't talking about Turtles or Transformers or anything else that they were doing.
I'm gonna tell you exactly the reason.
Uh-huh.
Because all we had was Devilman Cry, and Bayonetta came out and kicked Devilman Cry in the teeth. That's how they got notoriety. Because Vanquish was a smaller title compared to Bayonetta. Bayonetta is a classic.
Oh no, it is a classic.
Facts. That's facts.
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all bugging. I know what I'm talking about.
But I'm talking about in the sense of other people knowing about the game overall. About knowing about platinum games overall. Bayonetta was still not that game that just crossed over. It was huge for people who like those type of games, but it was Nier Automata. There were people talking about Nier Automata that don't even like those type of games. You see what I'm saying? Because the media was addressing
7 different games in one. It's a third-person game. It's a shooter.
It's all different types of saying. Like I said, Microsoft budget did the game some justice. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. I see Don has came up in here. What's going on with you, Don? What, you just come in here and sneak in here?
We doing popping podcast again over here on GRG. Popping podcast, Tom.
So
popping podcast. Yeah, spill one on the floor right now. What's up?
Come over there and cut your hinges off your Jaguar. You keep it up, brother.
Yeah, oh my goodness. All right, so
you're not gonna be able to do that with those.
So anyway, all right, man. So glad you could come by, man. I mean, you know, hey, it is. Well, you know what I'm saying. I mean, Livewire. I was thinking he was going to show up, but you know, I guess he was just too busy or whatever. But
we got a super chat.
Yeah, I just seen it. Sir X, man. I love Vanquish. I beat the whole thing. Loved it. You know, Vanquish is a dope ass game. I mean, it's just, that's what I'm saying. That their games are not bad.
Awesome.
But I agree with what PK was saying that they're
not AAA. That's all.
Yeah, they're just not
that. They're hit and miss.
Yeah, they're hit and miss. Absolutely.
They have some good ones, and they have some ones that are like, eh.
I know if Platinum Games want to do me a favor, give me back my $40 for that remaster they did.
Yeah, man. I bought that day one, and when you was talking about it, I haven't even booted it up. It's loaded, but I'm like,
they got me, King Mega. You know we usually gonna get caught because we do our homework. They got me.
Yeah, no, it was just more of excitement because I didn't pre-order. It was just day one. I just bought it. I'm like, man,
I bought it day one.
Because if I was like, if it's gonna look as good as it looked like on the PC. I was like, and that was before I even got my PC upgraded. I'm like, oh, well, we good. Well,
and you know what made me mad, King Mega? I was so excited. I erased I didn't have the right version on PC, but I erased my 4K version of Vanquish, and I can't get it back. I was hurt. I'm like, yo, this game looks bad. It was looking awesome on my PC. Biggest mistake of my life.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, matter of fact, speaking of the Dolphin King himself, he just hit me up and he said he didn't have any power, so he totally forgot today was Friday. So, you know what I'm saying? You know what? If one thing that I do when I do get that damn little device is I got to get that Rick James quote.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
No. That
It's Rick James. I'm Rick James. Yeah.
It's one or the other, maybe both. But anyway, no. But shout out to Livewire for letting me know. He didn't even know. So I mean, but if his power is back on or whatever, then you can hop in on your phone or whatever. It's all good. But man, I hate about that because I know that there was a storm that hit a lot of you guys out there on the East Coast this week. It
was only 20 minutes though. Only 20 minutes.
Well, I mean, if power is
half of Brooklyn ain't got power. Yeah, half of Brooklyn ain't got power.
So I mean, 20 minutes, man, it just knocks it out. Don't take too long to knock that power out.
6-layer neighborhood, Canarsie.
You guys are not built for that weather?
They're not built for tornadoes. That's out here, and that's our specialty. We're not built for earthquakes. They're not.
You know what?
They're not built for.
It ain't like our buildings are falling down. It's the trees.
Yeah,
trees hit the power lines.
Hit the power lines, right? That's why we started to put power lines underneath the ground and stuff like that.
Nowhere.
Yeah, but anyway, all right, let's get to the next topic, man. And so let's go ahead and roll through this. All right, so let's talk about this situation, man. This is this is probably was our biggest topic of the night because I don't think everybody's going to know all the ins and outs about TikTok. That's why I was kind of making that like more later. But it is significant because it does have to deal with gaming and especially with Tencent. So I can't wait to get into that. But let's talk about Sony's marketing for a minute, man. We've seen their strategy, and Sir X-Man, thank you. He says Platinum made a great G1 Transformers game. That game was cool. I wouldn't go as great. It was fun. It was
That was a good budget game.
Mad
Yeah,
repetitive, but
yeah, it was
still
so repetitive, man. It was so repetitive. I mean, the
fun.
combat and shit was cool, but anyway.
And
All
let me comment on that. The best Transformers game ever made was War and Fall of Cybertron,
I was gonna
which
say
is
that.
delisted. Which is delisted now, so only people who have physical copies can still play that game.
I can play the game on my PC.
Yeah, but it's delisted. No one can buy it digital anymore.
Oh no! I bought that game. I bought that game. I got it on Xbox and
Wait,
PC.
Fall Cybertron's not able to be purchased right now?
It's an Activision game, so I can believe it.
No, you cannot. You can't. I wish you could.
Man, that
I
was a good
wish.
game.
That was a
bummer.
great game. You're right, PK. That was a fantastic game. Now,
What
that
game?
was a Transformer game. So, Sir X-Men, if you
War
have not
of
played
Cybertron?
Fall of Cybertron, please
War
play
and
that.
Fall.
Yeah,
War and Fall
War
of
and Fall.
Cybertron.
Yeah. I would hope that those games would come back, but yeah, if they're delisted, then that sucks. What's going on with you, Crispy? What's going on, guys? Thank you over here on Twitch, man, checking me out, man, Tavern, and for the hosts and stuff like that, and for the follow. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Anyway. So I talked about this the other day, and not too many people liked what I had to say, but I hope they understood my point of view about these marketing deals with Sony. Now, do I agree with them? Absolutely not. I think they're egregious. I think they're gross. But then I'm going to let the panel go ahead and say what they have to say. But I do have but the point I do want to say on my end before I'm going to go to Lemon first, is business is business. And you have to do this with you have to speak with your wallet. You can't talk about petitions. You can't do all this. You speak with what you want to do is tell gamers to just say, look, man, fuck that. Buy it on Xbox. Don't even support the PlayStation version if you're that disgusting, or just don't buy the game at all if you're that disgusted with the with what Sony and Square Enix has done. So, Lemon, with that being said, there's even more rumors. I think there was something that popped up that I seen came from the podcast with what was it, Too Funny or whatever, Miller's podcast, but it wasn't Miller that was
Kind of
talking on
Funny
it.
Games.
Yeah, Kind of Funny Games, where they were basically saying that Sony has gone all out. There are more big titles that they're working on, that they have this exclusive content. They're going to shock a lot of gamers with this. And so if you talk to a PlayStation fan, they'll tell you, hey, look, this is just business. Don't trip out on it. You know what I'm saying? Xbox should have done better. Where are you at on this? Do you think that this has gotten outrageous of how Sony is doing this stuff and working and trying to take away from gamers? Or do you think, like I do, it's just business and people just need to think with their wallets?
Well, you got to look at it different ways.
Okay.
If you, I'm more on the side with the gamer, man, and we always have discussion about their launch and what they bring out in terms of titles. We know PlayStation never had a strong launch lineup. They never did. They always hit you with the bangers 2 and 3 years after.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I guess talk with your wallet if you like what you got. Like, I was on the fence. I'm always trying to get everything day one, but I don't really know, K-Mega. It's so up in the air with what they're doing. I don't really like either one of the companies with the pricing, not telling us. We ready to spend the money. We ready to talk with our wallets, but y'all don't want us to talk with our wallets because y'all ain't saying nothing. Y'all playing some fake chess match, but I don't know. I don't really know how to take that. I don't have a yay or a nay opinion on what they're doing, but they are confusing the market. You know what I'm saying? With the way they're going about things. So I don't really have too much to say on that. I just give me the price, let me pay, give me the games, let me buy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're doing, but
so let me just say this. Okay, so not for the content that Spider-Man is going to be on that's going to be only exclusive to PlayStation. I don't think that there should be too many people complaining about that, because Spider-Man is pretty much a Sony IP. But
Right.
all of the other content that Square Enix is going to give, not only a month earlier, but content that nobody from the PC or Xbox community will ever see unless they buy a PlayStation if they don't have one, or unless they buy the game on PlayStation. Do you feel that Xbox should make those type of same
Yes.
strategies,
Yeah.
or do you think
Yeah.
that the gaming community should just say like, look, this is getting outrageous. I mean, we did this with
Nah. No.
microtransactions, but now it's like, you know, so
No.
this is what you're saying so Microsoft should just jump on board on this instead of
And they
just
should
going
do
by
the
their
same thing.
Okay.
Because I mean, you know, I'm a Destiny player, and I'd rather play online on my Xbox. But Destiny got weapons in Destiny 2 that you can't get on Xbox. Now, whether you like the weapon, whether it's good, but that gives you a reason. Like I have multiple consoles, like you do, and if I can get a version, like I said, I'm not waiting for Final Fantasy VII on Xbox. I don't want to wait that year, but I know I ain't giving you $65 either. I just tell you I bought it for $40. I'm happy. It's gonna look good on the Xbox. It's probably gonna look better. But you need those exclusive deals when you have multiple consoles and you can make those choices, and it gives you an incentive to buy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Final Fantasy comes out next year, beyond April, for Xbox Series X or Xbox One X. We know it's gonna look better. It's a more powerful machine. But if you want to play the game now, you know, and they drop the price, now I got a reason to turn on my PlayStation. That's another reason to play something else I paid for. Some people don't look at it like that. Now, if you're a one console person, that's gonna tick you off. You like, God damn it, I wanted that gun, or I like that level, or I like that map. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not. So I just want a great version. You know what I'm saying? But I can get where somebody is pissed off, especially with a game like Destiny, a game like 2K. Don't give me a game like 2K and they both not the same. You got some exclusive Jordan sneakers and we can't get it on Xbox or PlayStation.
Well, this is basically the same thing. That's
right.
Yeah.
That's what's been going on. But you know, Microsoft, you see from their showcase, they got launch exclusives. Microsoft is doing it too.
Not with the content though.
Not with the content, but you know, Phil is a little bit more passive with that. But he's definitely doing launch exclusives. He's been doing that for the last 3 years. So, but you know, listen, with the content, you know, I don't like the thing they be doing with Control. I have Control on Xbox. So now I see, oh, y'all getting it early. The beta for Marvel Avengers came out this week. So I got a pre-order on PlayStation, knowing I'm buying a 4K version on my Xbox One X. So I had to pre-order and cancel before they charged me, and then go pre-order on Xbox because that's the version I really want. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes it could be a pain in the ass because, you know, but listen, they're going to practice their businesses, and it is really business. But as a multi-console gamer like a lot of us are in here, I really don't care. I'm going to take the best version and play the best version. I don't care what it's on, except PC. I don't really play my PC like that. But I will definitely, I don't care. But for the average person, I can see them complaining.
Okay.
It's not. It's really about the gamer, because at the end of the day, you hurt your community when somebody, you have, and this is no BS, you got people out there that'll play Destiny, Call of Duty, and some action game for a whole year. And those type of people should not be subjected to your exclusive content that they envying another platform's content and they cannot reach it. That's not right. Timed exclusive is different, but exclusive completely?
Yeah.
Like
Sony got
did?
completely
Yeah, that's
exclusive.
bad. That
And
hurts the community.
while a lot of people are, and I know that other people on the panel is going to say something about it too, but just because I don't think that you was really truly aware of it because you was moving and stuff, is that they're locking their content behind PSN. So for PlayStation fans that owns a PlayStation 4, if they don't have a PSN, they can't get that content unless they get PSN.
And I'm gonna tell you something else.
And it locks away from everybody else, from Xbox and from PC.
I'm gonna tell you something else that pissed me off about that showcase.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this has always been a PlayStation trait. PS4 ain't gonna be dead for another 4 years. They're still gonna put out games, especially the Japanese developers, PlayStation 4 games, because of that install base. If you notice in that showcase, a lot of games said PlayStation 4.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I said, here we go again. Because they
It was
do
in the
that.
description, like I said earlier.
Yes,
Like,
they
they made it
do
very clear.
that every generation. Because you know what hurt PS3 is the Japanese developers were supporting PS2 first for
Right.
about 5 years. See, a lot of people don't pay attention. I'm like, I'm not saying don't make the game for PS4. What I'm saying is you need them graphical enhancements. I don't want to hear about Crash on PS4.
And
I don't
you
want to
know
hear
that
that.
they're not going to get a lot of those graphical enhancements from a lot of those Japanese developing games. They're just not.
And it's not like the PlayStation is built like the Series X and the Xbox One X, where you gonna get that.
No.
Where you got that smart delivery. You understand what I'm saying? So, or it has that automatic
profile.
It has that automatic enhancements where what the system is going to make the game look better itself. What I'm saying is that sucks because I looked at the showcase. I'm like, oh, this game looks good. Like the game I talked about, you know, when the homegirl was sneaking past the monster. I thought that was dope. I'm like, I'm all in on that. That RPG, I'm all in.
Yeah,
and it was
Gaijin, something like that.
It was like PlayStation 4. I was like, are y'all retarded?
No, most of those games are going to be on PlayStation 4 because they're going to be prolonged, and that's why
most of those games was placed. I was like, nah. I mean, I'm still gonna buy it, but you know, and this is another thing that people don't pay attention. I was looking around a little bit this week. You know, I pay attention. You know, a lot of games on that's backwards compatible on PlayStation, you can't use a PS5 controller on. You got to use a PS4.
Right.
A lot of people didn't know that. So you trying to tell me I buy a new system, you got backwards compatibility, so I got to keep my PlayStation 4 controller to play PlayStation 4 games? It should be.
You kind of taking my thunder from that because I was waiting. Well, you're not because I was no because in this topic I wanted that to be discussed because that was a big focal point too. You just brought it up, but I was hoping that other people would bring it up too. But that's crazy. That goes into this whole. Is it anti-consumer? Is it not? Because there's people that fight back on this.
I don't know what that don't even make sense.
It's so exclusive. You got to use last gen controller.
Right.
That's as bad as when you change your name. Anything before April 2018, you get the content and everything is not going to come across.
Yeah, that stuff is gone.
Like, what?
It's gone. Yeah.
I'm like, I've never changed it. First of all, I ain't never changed my name on any of the platforms. But if I decided to change my name to 108 Dragons on PSN. Everything that came out before 2018 April, my content is dead?
Gone.
Oh hell no!
Right.
Because
they were forcing people to make that decision. Should I change? Because they only did that for lip service. They didn't want gamers to really go out and do that like that. So. I don't know. It is what it is. All right, so let's get on.
But technically, they just couldn't do it. That's what the real problem was.
That was PK.
It could have been that.
It
could have been that.
That was. All right, I'm gonna go to you, Slayer. What is your thoughts about this, man? I mean, and kind of touch on the controller situation too, because I was waiting for somebody to bring that up. Because if not, I was gonna bring it up, but. Is this anti-consumer? Where are you at on this, man?
Yes, okay. Lemon was a bit, 50-50, and I respect.
You saying
that.
Lemon was a bit soft on it? I'm saying
Lemon's
a little bit soft on it, in my opinion.
50-50.
Lemon a little bit soft, a little tender. You push him a little juice come out on that. He's a little soft on that notion.
Opinion right now. We're talking about
I don't know.
My opinion say
he was crossing that line. He was doing X-Bot. He was being ultra neutral on that.
Either way, this is anti-consumer as it gets. And similarly to this Apple thing, we don't have the whole Apple thing on the docket tonight, do we?
Yeah, we do. Hold
Okay,
on.
well,
Sir X Man in the chat, he says I have the disc of Fall of Cybertron. Well, then you're good then. You're good then, bro. Go ahead, Slayer. Go
okay,
ahead, Slayer.
so I'm not gonna get too deep into that whole Apple thing
Yeah.
to say that's equally as anti-consumer as that whole situation is, and we'll get into detail on that, I guess, next or whenever we go to that
Yeah,
one.
that's next. That's the next topic
Okay,
for sure. Yeah.
next. So I'll go into, but because to put that out there, in how it relates to this, I feel that all this, this is anti-consumer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're okay. There was a lot of debate, especially with Spider-Man, because we know, folks know that Sony owns rights, and the debate, they have the movie rights, not the game rights, nothing else. So don't get that twisted. And I know it can be unintentionally. It's not like folks are trying to fraud. You can't look confused on that aspect of it. But this isn't good for many of the reasons why Lemon said, and for many more that I could name or don't even consider and think of. But none of this stuff is like, what? No. If you're a gamer, you want to play a game. Now I have to buy a system that I otherwise wasn't planning to get to play a game that I do want. Like, yeah, that's supposed to be called a system seller and whatnot. But when you got to do it off of the bat of one side paid off the publisher or developer, whatever, just to have it exclusive, it's just like with this whole controller thing. That's as artificial and as you telling me they couldn't do it. Okay, we understand the whole PSN debacle. They couldn't do it, okay, for technical reasons. This is different. This controller thing, they're doing that on purpose to sell those controllers. That's it. There is no reason. I guarantee you, if the PlayStation 5 ever gets hacked, that's going to be one of the first features that's in the hack. That PlayStation 5 controllers work on backwards compatible PS4 games. Mark my words, that's going to happen. That's how stupid this is. But Lemon gave good points on the other side too. I'm not with that other side, but at least I can respect and appreciate those points of view on that too. You know what I'm saying? But that's not where I lay my hat on, and that's where I'm going to leave it, because this topic could go real deep and real long for a long. That didn't sound right, but you know what I'm saying.
This is why I wanted to make this. That's why this was the third topic instead of the fourth.
Yeah.
But
it could go real far.
Yeah. But okay, so let me go to PK on this one. So what do you think, man? Is this anti-consumer, man? I mean, there's a lot of people that screaming that it is. There's other people that saying, look, this is just business as usual, and then just. I mean, do you think the Sony strategy is going to work for them overall at the end of the day, or is this something, or is it going to bite them at the ass eventually because the competition just isn't pulling the same strings just of yet?
So let me just be clear: are we talking about the controller or the Spider-Man? I just want to be clear.
We're talking about it all, really. We're talking about just the whole situation with the marketing deal, Sony's situation with the controller. It's all really compact into one.
So, far as the Avengers situation, Sony has a global marketing deal with Square. Period. That's why they get Final Fantasy VII first. That's why they get a lot of things first, or periods, because they got a global marketing deal with Square. Doesn't mean that anything outside of that. So this was already set in stone prior. Now, what influenced that whole Spider-Man situation is their relationship with Disney. Doesn't mean they own the Spider-Man game rights or none of that stuff. They just use their influence with their relationship to say, hey, can we, kind of nudge to say, hey, do this for me. What's really a slap about this whole thing is, and I talked about this on my channel. So, first of all, they're not going to pay for Spider-Man. It's going to be free, downloadable content. Now, when I look at this whole Ventures thing, I look at it two sides. One, Spider-Man is coming later, which means he's not going to be part of the main story, which means that he's just going to be plopped on top of, but not really created for the engine as is.
Mm-hmm.
So the game is still not going to be complete. So even if you get the PlayStation version, he's still going to feel like he wasn't supposed to be there. Because why isn't this character created for the game from the get-go?
Well, they said that he's gonna have his own story and everything.
Yeah, well, let's just back up, because I don't. It's going to be such a small part. I don't believe it's going to be a huge part, because they're not paying for it. It's free. They're not going to put that much energy into something that's free.
Oh, that's a good point.
Number two, they only did this for this game. Think about it. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 just came out on Switch, has Spider-Man. The Lego games have Spider-Man. But why they choose this one? Why did they choose this one? It's because of their relationship with Square. It's because Sony didn't flex on any of the other titles. The Warner Brothers titles didn't exclude Spider-Man, right? From the Lego games. Marvel Ultimate Alliance definitely has Spider-Man on it, and that just came out. I mean, why did they choose this title particularly? And then when you think about it, anti-consumer, yes, this is a multi-platform game. When I look at it, we're going into the next generation. These games, such as this one, especially cooperative, should be cross-platform. I should be able to play with PlayStation, PC, and if it comes to Stadia, the 5 people who play Stadia, I should be able to play with those guys.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, there was at least 6.
Okay, I stand corrected. 6 people who play Stadia. The point is because...
No, you were accurate. There's only 3 people in Stadia.
Stop it. Okay, go ahead, man.
So what I'm saying is...
Hey, nigga, I told you.
Hey, when we get into this Apple situation... When we get into this Apple situation, it's going to get. I think it's going to get a little messy.
Apple situation is irrelevant almost as much as Stadia is.
Thank you, Bloody.
It's very important. It's very important. Okay, go ahead, PK.
So let's just say this: it's okay to have, when it's a multi-platform game, it is not okay to have exclusive content for just one platform, because it's not. I'm tired of people saying, well, you Xbox guys first of all, it's not an Xbox issue. This is an issue with PC and the 5 people who play Stadia as well. Okay?
He won't let it go. Damn. He won't let it go.
Damn.
It is.
It works. What are you gonna play it?
You need to include PC in this as well. So.
Yes, PC is definitely being affected by this as well. Yes. And all I'm saying is it's not an Xbox issue. It's an issue with gamers. This is a multi-platform game. I can understand an exclusive game. Like, I'm not upset that they had a Spider-Man made for them. Okay? I'm more upset that here it is that gamers are paying the same amount of money for this game and not getting the same amount of content. If you want to make it fair... If you want to make it fair, make this game $10 cheaper on PC and Xbox and Stadia.
Facts.
If you want to make it fair. Because it's not fair. It's not fair that you asking everyone to pay the same amount of money but not giving them the same amount of content. That is ridiculous. That's like you going to go buy your car and they saying they're not going to give you an air conditioner. You just air conditioner exclusive over there. You feel, but you got to pay the same. You got to pay the same amount of money. That makes no sense. Why would you do that? But you got to sell this car all worldwide. All I'm saying is, back in the day when Soul Calibur 2 came out, every platform had their own exclusive character. Yep. You had Spawn on Xbox, you had Link on the GameCube, and you had Hihachi on PlayStation 2, and it was fair. Because everybody had their own. Even in Soul Calibur 4, when they came out with one head, I can't remember which one, but one had Yoda,
and PlayStation.
Okay, but 3 months later, but 3 months later, it came on both systems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So my point is, then it was fair. That is totally fair. Even when you do, remember, I don't know if you guys ever pre-order games from GameStop, but when you pre-order, when there was pre-order bonuses, Amazon had their own pre-order bonus. GameStop had their own pre-order bonus. Xbox had their own pre-order bonus, and you couldn't get it nowhere else. But it was fair because each one of them had their own something to offer. It is not right for gamers. That's not a choice. That's taking away choice. And it's also not right to ask for the same money from gamers on PC, Stadia, and Xbox, but not giving them the same content.
Let me read Sir X Man and Boom's chat. He said, Sir X Man says, I told people last year that Sony always make a controller for the future game. You can't hold the old controller for the new game. No one ever listens to me. We listen to you, Sir X Man. And then
Why you doing that like you're the lonely handicapped gamer?
Shout out to Handy Gamer, man. Shout out to my boy.
Oh yeah, shout out to Handy.
Yeah, and then Bounty Boom. He said, did Microsoft do this with Minecraft? Absolutely not.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
They did not.
The only thing they did was
Sony.
The only thing they did was they had a Xbox edition that looked better. I mean, but they still offered the content on everything. On every platform you can access everything, including mobile.
My man PK with the facts.
Let me just say this. Let me say this on this controller thing. I'm going to push back on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it is definitely they definitely should push this new controller. And I'm going to tell you why. This new controller finally has the same features that Xbox controllers have. It would make no sense to go in to play these new generation games with this old technology that won't work.
But
the reason why
they're saying for new games, so I must interrupt. This is not for saying
no,
for
but
new
what
games.
I'm saying is
compatible games.
See, PK, this is my problem. It should work with all the games. It don't got more buttons.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is the thing. I've seen more.
I'm not disagreeing.
I've seen people that had like 20, 30 PlayStation controllers, and those PlayStation controllers are not cheap. They're like they're like 70 and 80 70 to 90 bucks, and if you got a custom one, you're paying 100 plus. So
this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that I think it is wise to push. I understand what you're saying. I agree. They want you to purchase the new controllers, but at the same time, I feel like it's needed because those old controllers don't have what you need. It is the reason why the current Xbox One controllers you can still use is because they have everything. All the features are in there.
But PK, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is, forget about what it needs and what it has. Why can't you play it on with the old games? Forget new games. You can't use it with the old games.
Yeah, that's
I agree with you on that. The only thing I can say with that is they want you to buy the new controllers. Okay, they want to phase out.
No, they want to phase it out.
They want to phase out the old controllers. That is what they're trying to do. They want to phase it out. They want you to forget it ever happened.
I know one thing. I'm tired of IGN acting like force feedback triggers is new. I know that. I know that's disgusting.
Yep.
Haptic feedback, right? I'm tired of that because
haptic feedback is different than normal Rumble.
Well, yeah, but the Xbox controllers already have it.
Yeah.
They had it since the 360.
They don't have it on the one.
No, they don't.
They have a Rumble. That's factually inaccurate.
So you trying to tell me?
Is it on the?
Hold on,
the Elite?
Let me ask Don something.
No,
let me ask Don something. So you trying to tell me when they advertised that on Xbox?
Yes, they did. They advertised that.
Not advertise it, but the game that really showcased haptic feedback in the triggers was Forza.
That's
going over the
really
bumps, the different. What?
No, it's a standard Rumble. So it's haptic Rumble and the Rumble that we're accustomed to today are two different styles of Rumble. So the Rumble we're used to is basically just a weighted motor that spins at different RPMs, right?
Right.
That's how you get the different feel. Haptic is actually, think of it more like a weighted speaker, essentially, right? So when you basically
Like how a subwoofer works in
yeah,
terms of
exactly.
different.
But
I got you.
instead of pushing a diaphragm, what it's doing is pushing a weight, is what's going
Mm,
on there. So there's a different feel from haptic from regular rumble. It's important to point
okay.
that out. So
Okay,
some
well
people are
then,
going to prefer regular rumble, and some people are going to prefer haptic. You're going to get some real split opinions on that sort of thing, but they have different feels that you can really target with it, which is very interesting.
Okay,
okay,
I got
question.
you.
Then what
Yeah,
about the
Slay, I know
Nintendo?
you want to ask a question.
What about the Nintendo controllers that supposedly had haptic? Is that also not?
I've never torn into one of their controllers, so I don't know if it has
So
haptic or standard rumble. That's a different.
No, they have haptic also, but I don't really count it because I don't use the Joy Cons. I don't use them.
so it says that the Xbox does have a version of haptic and was revised in 2013.
Yeah, you pull apart your controller today, it's just a standard rumble motor.
So
I know Nintendo Switch has it in the Joy Cons, but they don't have it in like the Pro
That's why
Controller.
the
and all that.
analog triggers are the shape the way they are on the Xbox One. You know how like they're pretty big and pretty beefy.
Yes.
In there, that's the only way they were able to fit a traditional rumble motor in there. That's the reason why that shape is like that.
Well, all right, okay, cool. That's something
That's what we here
didn't
to
know.
learn.
That's what we're
That's
here
right.
to learn, one way or the
Let's
other.
talk
Okay,
about it.
so
Facts.
so all right, so let me go ahead and just do this before I go to Bloody, and then I'll go to Don and get his point of view, and then we'll get to probably maybe our last topic. I'm still gonna get that I'm still gonna squeeze that one topic in. You know what I'm saying? When whoever leaves
Oh,
or
Good
not.
topic, by the way. I'm just
Wait,
saying.
wait.
No, I think that
Hurry
topic
up,
is
get
very
ready.
Let me say one thing. I
Go
want to
ahead,
correct
PK.
myself.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Go ahead,
I
bro.
did not mean I do correct. So Don is right. What I meant is adapter triggers, which the PlayStation did not have.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
a totally different story. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, the adapter triggers were in the Xbox controllers since 360, which the PlayStation 5 is just now adapting.
Right. Okay, all right, so let me go ahead and read this, and then I'm going to go to you, Bloody, next, and then Don, I'll get you last on this one. So, all right, I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to read this as quickly as possible. Okay, so I'm looking at the PlayStation's deluxe version, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to check the Xbox deluxe version. I got them both up. So right now I see digital pre-order details, pre-order and receive a bonus after checking out Marvel's Avengers Hexon pattern logo pre-order. Pre-order Marvel's Avengers for beta access 6 hero outfits and exclusive. And this is the $80 version.
Yeah, $79.99.
Yeah, $79.99 and the exclusive nameplate. Avengers, the deluxe version includes the exclusive Obsidian outfit pack for your Avengers, including Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, everybody else, and even Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, who's going to be coming in later on, and Hawkeye. Along with 6 exclusive Obsidian-themed nameplates to further customize your gameplay cosmetics. This edition includes 72-hour early access. Play the game 3 days early. Marvel's Avengers is okay, and then it says one-time online access acquire a single-player campaign online access required to whatever. So they don't even go into the full thing of what the PSN stuff does. I looked at that list. That list was crazy. I put it in GRG. I don't know if you guys looked at that.
I looked at it today because I
Yeah,
was
but
going to pre-order it.
PlayStation's going to get exclusive takedowns, of course, exclusive skins. They're going to even they're now trying to for the Muslim girl with the big hands and stuff like that, the one that
Kamala Khan.
Yeah, they're going to give her even more
That's Miss
content.
Marvel.
That's Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Miss
Oh, is
Marvel,
that the
right.
new Miss Marvel? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's been big in the comics over the past couple
Oh,
years.
The new Avengers.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
New
I haven't been into comics like that in a while. So
Don't get bloody started.
yeah,
About to have a
no, I know.
comic call, guys.
But anyway, so she's going. Okay, so I was thinking
Why
that
you
they
like
was going to
Kamala?
bring Captain Marvel back.
No.
Okay, so it's
That's
her.
Miss
Okay, I
Marvel.
got you.
Right.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
okay, so anyway, so they're going to give her even more content exclusively on the PlayStation. Now let me go over here to the Xbox. Let me go ahead and get this Samsung clicked over. Boy, I love it. I should just say it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Connect, but I won't. All right, so this is what Xbox gets for their $80. Avengers beta access 6 hero outfits and exclusive nameplate. That's it.
Yep.
it. That's
Yep.
it. That's it. That's
And you
it.
wonder why folks is mad.
Right, and then so you know what I'm saying, and I mean, of course, you know,
You hurt the community with that.
the one thing that Xbox does say in their side is that they leverage the smart delivery technology. Even though that there's a lot of PlayStation fans that actually try to combat smart delivery compared to what PlayStation does, but whatever, that's another topic for another day. But I mean, and see, hold on, this is the difference. When people buy the Marvel game, they're going to get that content. And also Xbox, you know, they will get the chance to play the game 72 hours early once they get the game. But they won't have all of the access of what they're going to get on the PlayStation end for 30 days. And then on top of that, they won't even get any of that at all. And the only thing that they get is the 72-hour early access, an exclusive nameplate that's going to be on Xbox, and then the 6 hero outfits, and then of course the deluxe edition Obsidian pack, which is going to be on everything. So PlayStation's eating good over here. On top of that, with what they're getting, and then of course you're asking gamers to pay for the same price. So So for Bloody, man, come on, man. What do you think about this situation, man? I mean, is it anti-consumer, or is this just business as usual, and Xbox need to just adjust accordingly?
No. Well, before I get into my stuff, I'm gonna hit that super chat right now. Mad love to Hanosis, as always, with that 420 super chat.
Thank you,
saying
man,
great,
love.
guys. Thank you, Hanosis. You a great supporter as always, my friend.
Thank you, Hanosis.
Now, I was
Thanks a lot,
absolutely.
homie.
Yep. Everyone knows here, and y'all saw the chat. I was very much against this. I don't like it. It's very anti-consumer. And as someone who was in the Destiny community, very, very heavily in the Destiny community, and you can go and check, I have thousands of hours in that game. I put time into that game from Destiny 1 all the way back on the 360, all the way to the launch of Destiny 2, until I just got tired of all the bullshit that Activision and Bungie was doing, that even the community themselves were getting tired of it after 4 years and everything. No. And this right here is doing the same damn thing that they did with that game. And it's shown because there are PlayStation dudes, not stands. No, PlayStation dudes who are just like, nah, we saw this with Destiny. That's not cool. We're not okay with this. Because the fact that you are taking an entire character who has his own moveset, has his own abilities, will have his own differentiating loot pool, separate and exclusive to one console. This is exactly what happened with Destiny, although it was a little bit different because they had weapons, certain missions, and certain content, and especially when you look at PvP maps that were not on Xbox, and then of course later on. And the thing is, those games, or that content was delayed by a year for one time, and then the next time was delayed for 2 years until it was no longer relevant. And it hurt even the PlayStation community because that exclusive content could not be purchased outright, had a very, very horrible loot drop, especially when you look at what happened with Destiny 1, because it had very, very bad loot tables. So those had very low drop percentages as it was. So when they did have it with Xur, for those who know Destiny, was a vendor who would allow you to purchase one weekly exotic that he would have on sale. Well, guess what? They had to make him have the same inventory across all platforms. So that exclusive content that was on PlayStation, they couldn't buy that from him because of the fact that it was held back because they had to have a shared inventory that persisted across both platforms. So they had to be lucky enough to get it from a drop, and then be lucky enough to get it from the encryption from said drop. So you're already minimalizing the content or the loot table for that. Not to mention that all those maps would not show up in playlists because they could not
Right.
be weeklies because they had to persist again across both platforms. A lot of the PlayStation side of the Destiny community got annoyed with it because the fact that they could not get some of those maps, they could not get some of those missions, and obviously they could not always get one of those drops for those exclusive weapons because of how minimalistic the loot table was and how bad the statistics were for drop rates. Now, what you're doing here with this game is you're basically taking a class, an entire playable character, and keeping it exclusive. And part of it is a bit of Crystal Dynamics. However, it isn't entirely on their fault. If you paid attention to the interview that Amos had said during that point, was the fact that he had to say that this was in collaboration between the relationship between Marvel and Sony. If you paid attention to what he was saying, is that Sony obviously was leveraging what they own with Spider-Man to really push for this. PK and Sick and everyone else brought up a great point, is that they didn't push for anything with obviously Marvel Ultimate Avengers, which was a Marvel-owned property for the longest time from the original Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 back on the 360 and the PS2 and the PS3 and all that time. They obviously couldn't do anything there because Marvel owned that completely. They had Spider-Man in that game even back then. They didn't do anything with the Lego games, but again, that has been a Marvel-owned property that Spider-Man has persisted in across multiple versions of the Lego games that they own and have made. So what is it about this game that stood out? It's because of the fact that Sony had already leveraged a partnership with Marvel when Marvel originally approached Insomniac to make a Spider-Man game, and they came into the deal and said, hey, look, we'll help put up funding if we can get this exclusively on our system. So here, when you're having a big Avengers title that is a live service, a games as a service, it's going to be an ever-expanding game with ever-growing content. And they already stated that after the game, after the main story, that they're having the Avengers project, not the assemble or reassemble, but they're actually having the Avengers initiative where they bring in new characters. Of course, they're going to want to take advantage of the fact that they have Spider-Man as the face of PlayStation with their exclusive game. But people still have to remember, they may have it exclusive, but it's still Marvel's. That's why the game is called Marvel's Spider-Man, not Sony's Spider-Man, Marvel's. They may own the film rights, but that is all they have. But because of the fact of that they need that relationship to persist for Spider-Man to continue on in the built-in MCU that they have made into a multi-billion-dollar juggernaut, you know they're going to do what they can to make Sony happy to be able to keep using Spider-Man as they see fit. So if that means leveraging a deal to let Sony have an exclusive Spider-Man because Sony's just like, hey, we want him only on our version, it's going to happen because of the fact that that's above Crystal Dynamics. But because Sony is doing that, it is very heavily against the community. Because this is what would have happened in Destiny. Guess what? It was only on PlayStation and only on Xbox at the time before it came to PC. What if they said, hey, you can only play as a warlock if you have the PlayStation version and can only be a hunter on the Xbox version, and Titans are the only class that is shared between the two? That would absolutely upset the community.
Well, that would break the game completely. Yeah.
Exactly. And while you look at it, it's like, oh, it's one character, it's Spider-Man. People know and love Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a very, very well-known and very globally recognized character. It doesn't matter who you are, everyone recognizes Spider-Man.
Well, what I want to know is this, is my thoughts on this, and anybody can touch on this as well, is do you think Spider-Man is going to be on Sony's platform? It's not going anywhere. But I'm talking about the content-wise for everything else that's extra, because this game seems like it's going to be a game as a service. It's going to be
and that's what I'm saying is that
over time. So is it going to be one of those things where it's eventually like it's a year exclusive, or is it this that Square Enix just sold to the highest bidder and just said, look, all of this content that we're giving you is going to just stay on Sony?
No,
first of all,
Spider-Man. Spider-Man is
okay, well, one at a time.
Let me
Go,
say
go,
this
go,
correctly.
Slayer. Hold on, Bloody. Hold on, Bloody. Go. What was you gonna say, Slayer?
Well, these Japanese developers, man, some of them are on some hard times. You know, game development costs more and more. We were just talking a couple weeks ago about the potential of increasing, you know, the cost of games because the game development costs so much. So I could see more and more this happening more and more often because the Japanese developers are going to sell their souls for, you know, for this money. I mean, this isn't a Japanese developed game or anything like that, but I can see these Japanese developers jumping up on that. Frankly, developers all over the world, like, really, this is a bad thing, and it's only going to get worse in my mind. I don't think this is really exclusive to any platform.
Let me say this. Hold on, buddy. Let me say this for the record. First of all, this is not a Japanese game.
No.
It's a Japanese published game.
Right.
It is Crystal Dynamics. Okay? They probably got to do what the mother company says. Let's not get it twisted. Crystal Dynamics is Canadian. They're not
Square Enix overall. Yeah.
No. Square Enix is Japanese.
Square Enix is the parent company, though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right, they're the parent company. The company that made the game, they're the publishers. The company that, like Activision, like with Infinity Ward makes Call of Duty. Activision is the publisher.
Okay.
Same situation. They got to do what the mother company says. That's why Bungie broke out, because they didn't have total control like they wanted to of things going down. Crystal Dynamics may not have that beef, but that's what's going on here, because Crystal Dynamics is Canadian.
And that's what I said, is that if you read what he said, he was talking about, hey, it's not our call. It's because of that relationship. And that's what I'm saying, is that Sony leveraged that with Marvel, and Marvel went to Square and said, hey, yeah, let them do it, and be like, okay, there you go, guys. Y'all do this. Because that's what it's being stated, without them saying, yeah, no, this wasn't our decision or anything like that.
It's not.
The attitude he had about it is, they said, the way that he kind of went about it, saying, hey, if you want to play Spider-Man, just get a PlayStation. That was a bit of a kind of a not an okay thing to say, because that was a very Donnie D kind of statement. And we saw how that played out when he was just like, hey, if you want to play offline, guess what? Buy a 360, not an Xbox One. That's not what you want to say.
Terminated.
What I'm trying to get at is that the rest of the content, that's all 30-day exclusive stuff that they're going to release early on PlayStation, and that some of the stuff is going to be PSN exclusive, that they're going to get a little bit goodies. That's fine. You know what? That's cool. Cosmetics and things like that, that's fine. If they really wanted to, guess what? They could have released Spider-Man as free for everyone, and then made exclusive skins and gear that would have made them look like the Spider-Man from the game, or made him look like Miles Morales. That would have been better than what they are doing right now. But everything else, them getting specials for having PSN, guess what? That's no different than the perks that we get for having Game Pass Ultimate. That's fine. That's their own incentives. Just like Game Pass Ultimate has its perks and has its incentives with games like Final Fantasy Star Online, like World of Tanks, like Dauntless, everything else. That's fine.
That's a little bit different, because people.
No. That's still exclusive perks for having that.
No, Bloody's right, because Fantasy Star, we getting the dub.
Well, no.
We getting the dub.
No. Hold on. Whoa, Bloody. No. I'm not. No, you and PK are completely wrong on this. No, it's not. This is why you're wrong, both of y'all. It's because that content is available on PlayStation. The only difference is that you got to pay for it.
That's not true. You can't get Xbox jackets on PlayStation.
Monthly bonuses.
Okay, you're talking about a jacket. I'm talking about the overall content of getting the.
I'm talking about
the boost
every month.
I was talking about the PSN perks that they get. That bonus content, that's fine. That's something for them pushing their own services and having some specials for that. That's fine. That's like Game Pass Ultimate perks, having special things and special perks and special items, special cosmetics, all that stuff for having Game Pass Ultimate. That's fine. What I'm saying is them specifically doing Spider-Man exclusive only to PlayStation is not okay. The 30-day timed exclusives that'll be available for everyone else later, that's cool. For them doing stuff specifically only for PSN and giving them bonuses for having PSN, that's fine, because we have that too. But them keeping an entire character, which is essentially its own class, is not okay.
All right. Okay. So Don, go ahead and finish this topic off. What is your whole thoughts about this situation? Is it just business, or is it one of those things where it's where I mean, look, there's a little bit of it's a little sly. I mean,
Yeah,
what do you
quiet.
what do you
It's
go
trying
on
to
this? I
get
mean,
under the radar,
when was
but I mean,
yeah.
the harsh reality is, when you're paying for exclusive content as a platform provider, it's basically just showing that you can't afford to buy the whole game. I mean, that's what it always looks like to me. And you're just looking for little baby incentives to kind of get people into your
You
ecosystem,
do that.
and that's really what it looks like to me. To be honest with you, I just take it or leave it, and just like if you care about that content, you get it on that platform. If you don't, you don't, and you're already pre-invested into one platform that doesn't have that stuff. You know these publishers will all that stuff will bite them in the butt later. It's just what it really comes down to. You guys are the consumers. So you have to
Look,
decide what you want to do, where you want to spend your money.
so
So
like that 20 minutes ago.
Alrighty then.
Oh, now niggas is cursing, niggas.
what is 1A Dragon doing?
I have no idea.
Does he even know he's still on a podcast?
Look,
Where did K Mega go?
Crazy. Stay by your phone. Stay by your phone. Bye.
Oh, 1A Dragons didn't even mute his phone, and K Mega left.
K-Mega's still there from my perspective. Is he missing on yours?
Oh, he's just not talking.
Somebody Bloody just dropped.
I didn't drop.
No, Bloody just did.
Oh, we heard you. We heard you on the phone.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know what happened to K-Mega. He's not speaking. PK, you there? Are we even still?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're still online. I that was just short and sweet. I don't know if K Mega would decided to go make himself.
K-Mega's in a party.
I know he's here, but I don't know if he's at his desk right now.
Yo, Don, what you been up to?
What I've been up to? Just playing games, man. I had this week off, man.
Are we still on? Are we still live?
Yeah,
we're still live.
The Don killed. Yeah, we're still live apparently. Yeah.
I don't know why
we're
y'all can't
live.
hear me. Yo, can you hear me now, Don?
Hey,
Yeah,
folks,
we can hear you now.
I don't know what the hell's going on. I gotta. Anyway, I don't know. Usually I could just mute myself.
Yeah, Crispy says they can hear us. Yeah.
Okay, so let's continue with the show until.
I mean, I already said my
Don
piece,
was
so-
the last piece.
What's the next topic?
Well, he said it was the Apple thing. So
Oh, we can get into that. Let's get into that real quick. Let's talk about this Apple and what's going on with Xcloud and Microsoft's and Google Stadia basically backing off of them because of their restrictions and not consumer friendly behavior. Who won't go first?
yeah, well, I just want to put in a little something. Just before that, we gotta realize, in a week ago, maybe I think it was, the heads of these, the CEOs and stuff of these companies, Facebook, Google, Apple. I don't believe Microsoft was there, or maybe they were. I'm not sure. But so the heads of these companies had to be up there before Congress talking about antitrust. What do you call it? Anti. What do you call that?
I'm back. Okay, my bad.
What's the term for that?
No, now you gotta wait, K Mega. We already got this going. We on the last topic. Let's go. Finish it.
This ain't the last topic. This is maybe your last topic, but this isn't the last topic. But let me go ahead and read this chat.
Is Apple and Microsoft, right?
No,
and what happened?
No. We're talking about the TikTok thing. So after.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Anyway, so my bad. I was sitting here and my wife just got home, so I just wanted to.
Okay, you married, you responsible.
Yeah, I got to be responsible.
Let's finish talking. We done started the Apple and Microsoft and the Stadia.
Okay. Anyway, so let me go ahead and read this. Restored Hades. It says ponies aren't speaking against this is because they don't feel it. So they don't have any empathy. Cuphead just came out on the PS4. Can you imagine the DLC was only on the Xbox? How much backlash they get? That's what it's all about. So that's why I was asking people on the panel was, is it one of those things where it's is it where Xbox needs to start making these same type of deals, even though Phil has not said that he was going to do it?
What's a trade-off? It's a trade.
Yeah, but that's the thing. What's the trade-off?
But
Because
it's but it's not an Xbox issue because it's not.
It's not.
It's a gaming issue because PC and Stadia is also getting deprived. PC and Stadia, we got to remember that.
No, it's a platform provider issue because here's the thing: is the platform provider is the one fronting the money, right?
Right.
So they're trying to incentivize their consumers to go to their platform and buy the game on their platform and buy their console and their controllers and all that sort of stuff. So that's why they're doing it, right?
Yeah.
And the question is, Microsoft's strategies is different, right? We're doubling down on more studios. They're doubling down on both smaller and bigger games. They're doing things like Xbox Game Pass. They're doing these different types of incentives to get people to invest into their ecosystem, and all that stuff costs money. Just like all the stuff that Sony's doing is costing money. And the harsh reality, I don't think you can have it all. I think at a certain point you have to decide where you're going to invest your dollar.
But if you saying that, then who's doing it? Were you saying that Epic is doing it, or Steam is doing it, or GRG, or EA?
No, I just think that everybody's just selling themselves to the highest bidder, and that's the point where I said that it's just business as usual. It's just business because I mean anybody. I made this point on my video. I was saying, look, anybody on this panel, you have one. You're working at this one particular job. And then all of a sudden somebody's offering you more money, better incentives. Are you going to stay loyal to the job that you're at, or are you going to jump on the job that is giving you a lot more? And that's why I was saying, like, look, I mean, if you think of it from that perspective, then hopefully people will look at it as like, well, damn. I mean, you can't get mad at Square Enix because they did the same thing with Xbox. Xbox helped fund Tomb Raider, and then everybody jumped on Xbox. My point was
everybody
about
jumped on Xbox.
Yeah, that's the thing that I got a problem with is that
clear.
Yeah, that like the hip hop gamers, the gaming media, like from Unlocked Podcast, they all jumped on Microsoft, and I'm saying the Angry Joes, they all jumped on Microsoft and said this is anti-consumer, this is garbage, this is awful. How could you sit there and have this game as a year exclusive? Even though Microsoft spent the funds to even get this franchise really back off the ground, and then now we look at it, I don't know what, 3-4 years later, and Sony is like, look, we got the money to spend, so we're going to give this money to Square Enix to make a lot of this stuff, a lot of these properties and things, exclusive. And nobody is having that same energy about that. And that's where I got the problem with. The business side of it is where if Microsoft don't want to spend the money and Sony wants to, then why should people get mad at Square Enix for? Because they're over here like, look, I'm getting this money. We got to put food on the table for our employees and for ourselves as well. So why the hell should it be?
You're gonna end up losing out in the end because you're asking consumers to spend the same money on the platforms they choose, which is PC or what have you, and get less content. Ain't nobody gonna stand for that forever.
No.
I
totally agree. Go ahead.
It's more important right now than anything because Avengers is on a roll with all their movies, and you got fans on both sides. Like, wait a minute, I don't have a PlayStation. What the hell is that about? You understand? Because Avengers is the highest grossing movie of all time. So you got fans from everywhere looking at this situation, and it's not fair.
No, it's not fair. I'm not saying that it's fair whatsoever.
No. I'm not saying. Like, we sitting on this panel and we talking. I don't like that year stuff. 30 days?
No, I don't like it either.
Back in the days was cool. But a year?
Yeah.
Or never? Nah, that's not right.
No, I don't. No, let me make it clear. Let me make it clear. I don't like it. That's why I said I wish that Microsoft just made it exclusive. Now, of course, at that time, Phil just jumped into the game, and then whoever made that deal, if it was Phil or whoever, they made that deal with Square Enix for Tomb Raider, then the proper thing would have been is like, let's acquire the Tomb Raider, the IP if we can. If not, then let's make that shit exclusive only on Xbox to combat against Sony's Uncharted. That's you know what I'm saying? Because I think that if it was a situation where it was now, I think Xbox would have been in a better position to try to make that stance than it was then because they didn't have the open checkbook like they did. And I still feel that well, go ahead, Slayer. I'm sorry. I know that we're still talking about this topic. I know we need to get to the next one.
And let me say this for the record.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna tell you a game that got hurt by that year exclusive crap, and it was for Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Dead Rising 4 got destroyed.
Yes.
On PlayStation.
Yes.
It got destroyed for that, man. And now,
well, Tomb Raider got destroyed. Nobody didn't buy Tomb Raider on the place. Tomb Raider
was first, but Tomb Raider did sell.
It sold a little bit. Yeah, but you're right. Dead Rising didn't do nothing. It
did nothing. So what I'm saying
did that studio close down, actually?
Nah, I don't think
Dead Rising 4 was trash anyway.
Well, I know a lot of people said it wasn't good, but yeah, I thought that studio, went kaput.
Hardcore following that it had. Mm-hmm. You know, you always get those trickle sales. What I'm saying is, it still got destroyed. They broke, what's his name, Frank West or something like that?
Yeah.
They brought him back. People was hyped. It sold well on Xbox, but when it went over after that year of exclusive, they didn't do nothing on PlayStation.
No. It did awful. It did awful.
So what I'm saying,
I mean, just look at Titanfall. Titanfall Respawn Games sold to PlayStation by trying to be cute, and that was an opportunity right there where the gaming community. Well, I should say that gaming studios should have been paying attention because Titanfall 2, they're talking about that they want to make Titanfall 3, but because they kind of shunned the Xbox community that made that game what it was, that game is in jeopardy. And I think because of the success of Star Wars and things like that, EA will still go ahead and push it to where Respawn can go ahead and make a Titanfall 3. But you know, just because you cater to somebody that gives you the money for something, and then that's another thing too, because everybody that plays it, even though I do enjoy Titanfall 2, it is not it does not feel anything like Titanfall 1. Nowhere near. It feels more like Call of Duty, and I think that's where they made the problem with, because they were trying to set that base. But anyway, hold on, let's get to this next topic, man. We got one more topic after this, and if you gotta leave, you gotta leave. It is what it is. But we gotta get through these topics. We're gonna get through these topics. We got 28 minutes. 28 minutes. So let's be a little bit quicker. Let's not be so long. So let's get it. All right. So Restored Hades. PS4 has been doing this all generation, and I think a lot of people are tired of it. Call of Duty still has exclusive modes on PS4 right now. You're right. A lot of people are. I think that, like I said, this was a good topic. That's why I wanted this to be the second topic, because I knew that this would be a long, drawn-out topic to really break down a lot of situations. But it is what it is. People wanted to hear us talk about state of play. It is what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this Apple pushing back on towards Xcloud. Well, it's a lot deeper than that, because now not only that Xbox is now coming out and slamming Apple for their practices. Now you got Google, and lo and behold, you got Facebook Gaming jumping into this as well.
And Nvidia. It's for them.
Oh, and is Nvidia? I didn't know about Nvidia just jumped into this. But there's a lot of people now that's just saying, look, Apple, we understand that your status is, that you had this high standard of status. And I posted something here early yesterday morning where it showed actually where Apple and Android is. And a lot of people think that Apple is just dominating overall. It is not.
It never was.
Well, no, at one time it was. It went to well, in the United States. Hold on, gentlemen. Hold on. In the United States and in Canada, it killed. iOS killed everything. Everything. But after Steve Jobs passed away, that has changed.
No, even before that, this was something I've been
following.
Okay.
They dominated, but now it's one of those things where it's like they're even. They're even down the board. Android has caught up. They're even in the United States. iOS is higher, but not by the margins where they were in 2017 and 2018. So let me go to you, Slayer, since you wanted to talk about it, and then I'll go to Don next. And then Lemon, I'll get to you because I know that you said that you was on time restraints. So
I'm good. I'm
oh,
here.
okay, brother. All right, cool. So Slayer, what is going on now? I mean, do you feel that these for what? Why do you think for one why Apple is over here being so negative towards
Money.
XCloud?
Duh.
Okay.
Money.
Okay.
Money.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Let's
Well,
not
break it all down. Break it all down. Break it all down.
Well,
Because Microsoft don't really try to get into this
No.
war situation because
Nah,
everybody's
they
been
really
talking
not
about it,
like
but they are really outspoken than
Yeah.
I've ever seen. And then you, of course, said the limit said Nvidia. You also got
Nvidia,
Google
yeah.
jumping into this, and now you got Facebook Gaming jumping into this. So
Nvidia,
what's going on?
Nvidia, well, as you see the names that he brings up, Nvidia,
Yeah.
Google, Facebook, Microsoft, all in the streaming game,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And so they all have the same point of contention. But like I was trying to establish before, last week, the 4 big CEOs of Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple were there. Tim Cook, Mark Zuckerberg, Sundar Pichai, and Jeff Bezos. Okay, now each one of them had certain things they had to answer to Congress about, but Apple's thing was all about anti-competitive things that they were doing about their App Store guidelines. This was last week, Wednesday. Okay, and the consensus is Apple got off pretty lightly. I'm reading this right now on CNN Business, but I'd read this elsewhere. Tim Cook has gotten off pretty lightly, despite some earlier questions as to whether Apple favors certain developers on its App Store. There have been relatively few questions. So last week,
So Apple got
dodged
sued
the
for
bullet.
this with UK
That's
several
right.
times, right? If I remember correctly.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Europe is
So-
more vigilant about that. Yeah.
It's more. It's so yeah. Their views are a little bit different here in the U.S., but it's more of the same stuff of what they're doing here, from what I see.
Yeah. So the reason I bring that up is, they dodged that bullet last week with Congress. Apple did, right? But in the public eye now, here's a situation coming up again. They think they dodged that bullet. Well, it's spun back around it could be fatal. I mean, not fatal, but you know what I mean? It's a problem for Apple now that's not going to go away as easily as they thought, because it's plain for everybody to see. That's why I cut you off a little bit there, K-Meg, when you was, asked me the question there. It's obviously money. They see what's going on. Like, they're not trying to make their competition money. They're trying to make themselves money. And they're going to make the rules however they want. When people want to talk about 30% on Steam and all this other stuff, remember who first started that? Apple did. Okay? But you want to say, Microsoft doesn't allow other browsers on their App Store on Windows, but neither does Apple. You got to use the app. You got to use their web engine. But I'm bringing all these up to say that here in the game industry, we see that it's clear as day. Folks were hoping to play Xcloud on their iOS devices, phones, tablet, whatever, right? And possibly Apple TV in the future, right? But they can't because of these draconian guidelines and rules that they have on their App Store, and everybody sees it what it is. It's just a money grab to minimize any kind of profit anybody else can make, and all the money for Apple. When we hear about the rumors that the new iPhone isn't even going to have the goddamn charger, but it's going to have a new charger because it has to be higher wattage and fast charging and whatever they're doing. So, and then you have to get that charger separately. With the year that they took off the headphone jack is the same year they introduced the AirPods. We know how Apple does. Let's not mince words. I know there's a lot of Apple fans in the chat. They say they have iPhones and all that. I'm not a big fan of Apple, but I'm a technology enthusiast. And so when iOS on the iPad, finally released those limitations, you could use a USB stick and doing other operating system things so that iPad could be the real computer that it really could be. That's what made me finally buy one. You see me on Twitter, you see the box, the day I got it. Okay. So, but it just goes to show only when it's to Apple's benefit will they do what's right, because they will do cruddy, shitty shit all day long. They've done it since the 80s. Okay, if you saw that movie where Seth Rogen played Steve Wozniak, they debated for years
Seth Rogen
because
was not acting in the 80s.
no, he
He
the
acted
movie
as somebody in the 80s.
He played a movie back in the
80s,
80s.
yeah.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seth Rogen. Yeah.
Was it Seth Rogen? Am I saying the wrong name? But he played
I get the right
Steve
idea.
Wozniak. He played Steve Wozniak in that movie about Steve Jobs, where it ended right before the
Oh
iPod
yeah, that movie came
They
out
made up,
what late 2010s.
yeah, and he made up with his daughter at the very end, right?
Yeah.
So in that film, like they show you the argument that Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs were having for years about the Apple II.
Okay.
Steve Jobs just wanted basic connectors to connect your printer, your keyboard, and basic things. And Wozniak was like, no, it has to be open to have expansion slots. Because Steve Jobs was always about, he thought he knew better than everybody. You know, the reality distortion field. You go read about that. That's a term that came up for the way Steve Jobs just did shit, right? And that's ingrained into the DNA of Apple long after his passing, okay? That Apple is still doing this wholly anti-competitive stuff. There is no debate, no room for any other opinion, I feel. It's just fact. What Apple is doing here is markedly wrong because Microsoft did this. Even 5 years ago, you know, they'd be all up in Microsoft's behind. Same with Google, okay? This is just wrong. There are so many people on iPhones and iPads who were hoping for Xcloud, and when they saw there was just a Master Chief Collection, they already were looking with the side eye because they already saw what was coming, and now it's here. Like, this is Apple at their most Apple-esque. And it's always it's never good for anybody but Apple's bottom line.
So do you think that overall at the end, you know what I'm saying, quickly, do you think that it's going to bite Apple in the ass overall?
I hope so. I'm not so sure how this is going to work out. They might make, an exception to the rule, like they're doing us a big favor.
Right.
But I hope this hurts them. They deserve that. This is not right at all.
No doubt, no doubt. That's a great point because we don't know, because I still see people out there that still look. If people think that the gaming atmosphere is toxic, just go into a Apple. Microsoft don't make phones anymore, but I think that aren't they starting to going back to make their phones? But just go back and just look at especially just Apple and Android. Just listen to that content. Just listen and read. It is awful. Like, I thought that the gaming community was just gross. It is. I'm like, I can't even deal with that. Like, that's depressing over there. Like, for real, it's bad over there.
You're like, when did a phone turn into this?
Right. Like, I'm like, damn, it's bad. It's bad over there. But all right, let me thank you so much, friendly neighborhood Blue Shell. He says Apple will just have to lose significant sales, or Samsung gain significant sales for Apple to change. Apple has fans that will never go against Apple's practices until the first sentence happens. It will never change. No, I totally that's what Slayer was talking about. Yeah.
That's all they care about. That's the only thing that will ever make them.
Yeah, like the fanboyism between these phones, between iOS, and I see it between gamers too. Like, when I've seen some people sit here and post something about, Microsoft coming out and saying, like, look, this is anti-practice and everything else. The Apple fans going in, just being adamant. It's crazy. But okay, all right, let me go to you, 108. What the hell is going on here, man? I mean, we played, at E3, we played on the Xcloud before anybody else did. We even heard people that was trying to knock it. Other YouTube, other content creators who had a louder voice at the time. They were trying to project that Xcloud was just a gimmick. It was frauded. They was wired and all this other stuff. We were there. Me, you, King David 100, you know what I'm saying, Tim Dog, all of us was there. You know what I'm saying? And then, and we posted all types of information, all of that. What the hell? Why do you think that Apple is so afraid? I mean, well, they might not be afraid. I mean, because Apple is Apple. But why do you think that Apple is not letting Xcloud come over to their platform?
First of all, it's not really about Microsoft versus Apple.
Okay.
It's really their app guidelines. Because Microsoft beta is just finished on Apple. Everything is running fine. The App Store for Apple, they're control freaks. Android is open source, and it's like they give the developer the power to do what they want to do. Apple wants to control what you do, and that doesn't work. Developers don't want to be controlled. It's like what Microsoft said, oh, the system can do 120 frames. Now, all our games have to do 120 frames. But developers will be like, I don't want my game to be 120 frames. I don't want to be doing that. I want it to be 30 frames. I want it to be 60 frames. Apple has these guidelines for so-called security. If you look at it, Google, they don't have security issues. Looking at Microsoft, big company, they don't have security issues. You understand what I'm saying? You're not dealing with somebody like a TikTok, or you're not dealing with these small dating apps,
Right.
which got all these holes in their firewalls to protect your content and all that. You're talking about major corporations, trillion-dollar companies that you should trust. And we talked about anti-consumer. This is another anti-consumer situation. They had plenty, thousands, if not millions of people beta testing, Xcloud over there. And NVIDIA wanted to put something with their streaming technology. Google Stadia wanted to put something over there, because it's bringing more eyes on their product. So it's not really a Microsoft thing. It's really Apple's dominance on how they want to control their environment. You buy a laptop, you can't. Buy a computer, they don't want you upgrading graphic cards. You buy this, they don't want you using this unless they say, I'm not spending $1,200 for the phone, and you tell me what to do. I'm sorry. Give me my Samsung Galaxy, and I do, or my OnePlus. I do what I want to do. And after they leave the store, I do what I want to do. Apple is not going to be in control of what I do for the money that they be trying to charge. That's why around the planet they're losing. All over the planet they're losing. Because the United States, they was beating Android. Michael Jackson sold 33 million records in the United States for Thriller, but he sold 75 million across the planet. What number you picking? Because the United States ain't but so big. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to lose. And who's going to get hurt? The worst is the consumer. You know what I'm saying? That's who's going to get hurt. The worst is bad practices. And Apple always has bad practices.
Yep.
They want to keep their ecosystem. You buy a $4,000 laptop from Apple, and now look at all these dudes with all this content out here talking about 4K, 8K. Them Apple PCs can't be upgraded with graphic cards and everything. Dudes are trading them in and building PCs because they need to expand. They need the room to breathe. Apple don't give you room to breathe. They just don't. They want to control every part. If it's a mouse, if it's Bluetooth headphones. Yo, I didn't even know that those Apple iPods don't work on nothing else but Apple products.
No, they don't. They don't.
They're bugging. You could be selling that to everybody.
Basic level, but
Everything is proprietary when it comes to them.
Exactly.
Yes, everything.
And now even the processors are going to be like.
Even Samsung, when they had the proprietary jacks in their first tablets and phones, then they said, you know what, we're going USB regular, and now they have the USB-C because nobody wants to deal with that. Your special cables. Oh, you want to buy an accessory for iPhone?
You know who else did proprietary? Sony.
Right. Sony's
Well,
another.
I mean, just think about Sony's being proprietary. I can't even say that.
Sony
I mean, just look at what Sony's doing with their controllers. But anyway, that's another. We talked about that earlier.
But I'm saying it's the
I mean, just think about Beats with Dre and how iPhone, how Apple went with that. Like, damn, okay, so you want me to spend this much because Beats with Dre, I thought that they were better than Dolby. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not now, but You know what I'm saying? Maybe not now at this position.
Going down that road.
Yeah,
To
but
not,
when Beats with Dre first came out, when you listen to that, and then when you listen to what Doughbelieve sounded like at that time when Beats with Dre first dropped, Beats with Dre was way more superior in my opinion.
I bought it. I was pissed. I was like, oh, here we go.
And then when they got and then when they bought it and then when you had to get it because I have a friend that's nothing but iPhone nothing and I got iTunes, so he wants to come over and he wants to get music that I got off of because I have a lot of music, and so he wants to plug up his iPhone so he can download some of my music. So it's cool, and so I say, "Oh man, you got the Beats with Dre." He says, "Yeah," but he says I can't use them because I got to get a special cable in order for them to work, and those cables are $100. I said, "Whoa, bro!" I said, "Fuck that! I'm calling Cricket." That's when I didn't care about phones after that. Before that, and then I changed up. Yeah, so
Not
yeah, no, that's
really
crazy.
an Xbox factor. It's not Microsoft versus Apple. It's their whole rule system and their app
Yeah,
store with gaming in general. And then, they're trying to push Apple TV on people. They're trying to push their gaming. Your gaming, nobody cares. Nobody
Apple
cares.
Arcade unit, yeah, it's a
Yeah, nobody cares. Listen, 10 years ago, we're going to have a gaming division ourselves. How you have a gaming division, you can't upgrade a graphic card in none of your PCs?
no.
They put Madden on one time on Apple.
Hmm.
Floppity flop flop.
Yeah, no. I
Couldn't
mean,
run the game like it was supposed to be ran.
it's awful.
And you can't go in there and change anything. You stuck. And you're not paying decent prices. You're paying out the wazoo.
All right.
They're not shortchanging you with nothing in terms of price. You ain't getting no bargain Apple iMac. They're bugging, man.
No, they are bugging. All right,
They
Don.
hurt the consumer.
All right, Don. We got you, and then we got PK to finish out, and before we get to our last topic, you know what I'm saying? Y'all push, so I can't bring my ultimate topic to the table. But you know what? I'm gonna bring it next week as the first topic. So suckers, y'all are not escaping.
Oh, I'm gonna be ready for it because that's a really good topic and it would be really long.
You said it was shovel. You said it was just a fill-in topic. That's
No,
what
I
you
said it wasn't newsworthy compared to.
It is a
what's in my
fantastic topic.
That's a whole nother subject.
All I know is I heard K-Maze is suckers better recognize or something.
Yeah,
along
you
those lines.
damn right. No, that topic. Listen, when it was brought. Okay, so so the topic that we are not going to. It's just going to be the first topic next week. That's for sure. The topic that we can't bring out tonight because we got to finish our last two. Well, one more after this is which console now, since we're just a couple of months away from the end of this generation, the 360 console overall or the Xbox One console overall. This was brought up to me by a PlayStation first fan, which was King Thrash, one of the previous guests that we've had on the show, and I broke it down, but the conversation was so deep and detailed from so many people. I'm like, you know what? I think that's a perfect segue to get out of when we get out of here tonight. But we'll start it off to kick off the show next week. So don't worry about that. We're not going to talk about that now. But anyway, let me go ahead of you, Don. What is going on with this situation? What do you think? I mean, as you have suicide doors with your Jaguar, I would think that you would be an iOS phone holder, but you're also conservative, so you probably might have just a flip phone like I used to have until 2016, until my daughter made fun of me and they told me
I
to change up.
I didn't have a daughter that made fun of me about I remember that story. That story is great.
That's great. Yeah, she's like, no, Dad, you ain't gonna come in here with this flip phone. You gotta get better. You gotta get better.
Yeah.
If I get a new phone, you get a new phone.
I was living the single life, so I'm like, I gotta have my phone game on.
Oh,
on
okay.
point.
All right. Disrespectful. All right.
But no, as Apple's seen a lot of success having a closed ecosystem. And because they're the 800-pound gorilla in the room, no one's there can really tell them no, if you get where I'm going with that. And so, but you're right, they don't have quite the same clout as they did before. Their competitor is continuously growing, and you're not seeing the growth from them in that particular aspect. So, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, with time and lots of sales on the platform, and if they feel like they can help them get a little bit of an edge, or this takes traction, they may have to kind of give in. But we'll see where all that goes. But at the end of the day, they've always seen success having a closed system, and that's how they make their money. That's how they're profitable. So why would they want to change until it's not making them money? If you know what I mean. So
Yeah. I mean, okay, so is it one of those things for you that seeing the success, people, well, just people being because I mean, we don't know if it's going to be a success or not, but there's a lot of people that's intrigued by XCloud. Is it the fact that maybe that, and this is something that I haven't heard anybody say. Maybe PK will bring it up at the end of the, well, I'm going to bring it up, but maybe PK can allude more to it. But is it because that maybe Apple may feel threatened because of the Apple Arcade is in jeopardy if they allow the app of XCloud to be on their
I think it's
app
bigger than that.
platform?
I think their policies stem from other things as well. It's not just gaming. And I think gamers look at it through the lens of just gamers. I think they're looking at it, these are the rules we apply, so that closed loop, we always profit from it, right? And so when you start making exceptions, say for Microsoft or let's say Facebook, or you pick and choose whoever that may be, then Apple goes, well, crap, now the dominoes fall, and I have to make exceptions for this other app or this other thing down the road, right? So I think they're looking at from a general policy across the board, and it's not just gaming. And that's kind of how Apple it always looks at things. You know what I mean? They want you to buy whatever their hot new idea is, and some people eat it up and some people don't. You know what I mean? So
No doubt, no doubt. All right, PK, go ahead and close us out on this topic so we can get to the last topic of the night. What do you think, man? I mean, is this anti-consumer again? Because I mean, we've kind of got into this a little bit earlier, but or is this just, of course, just Apple is they're protecting their interest for them and theirs, or is it time for Apple to go ahead and start letting and start bringing more of an open platform for opportunities for Google Stadia and for Facebook Gaming and for others to come in and to come in here because Apple definitely has the biggest platform when it comes to apps than anybody else by far. It's not even close. So what do you think about this?
So I would say is a multi-port thing. First and foremost, they have very strict policies, right? Especially when it comes to gaming apps. Basically, they want Microsoft to put every game through a review process, every single game, and that's just not reality. They want them to put every single. There's no way you could put every single game that someone may or may not play through a review process before they could play it. That just don't make sense. And that's their policy, though, and that was already there. But it's very difficult for anyone. Let's say even if PS Now wouldn't work on iOS, right? Because they would be scrutinized through the same thing. Or Stadia, the 5 people who play Stadia, that wouldn't work on there either. Or NVIDIA, or anyone else, it wouldn't work on there because they have to go through this review process unless they only got a handful of games, then it wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
and
but
yes,
the Apple version would have worked just fine, violating the same rules that they say in the other ones.
But wait a minute, that is true, but they also control that. So yes, they want to promote the Apple Arcade. They do not want to compete with another gaming app on their platform if they can help it, because they control everything, just like everyone else touched on. They control everything. They always have, and they always will have a closed ecosystem. That's what made them successful. That's why they can charge ridiculous amount of money, is because it's closed. It's proprietary. Everything is, and you have to buy from them. You have no choice. It's everything is. I mean, it's weird because now they're just think about it. They're stepping away from using Intel CPUs. They're gonna go with their ARM chips. The only thing they still buying is LG's panels and Samsung panels for their machines. But outside of that, they're going to get away from the CPUs as well. They're going to do everything they can not to buy or get anything manufactured from the outside if they can help it. And that's just the way they always been. As far as Xcloud having an opportunity, I have no idea. I don't even know how they're going to make that work, considering that they have these policies in place, and kind of like Don said, there's making exceptions just kind of open the door. So I don't know how that's going to work. It's really hard to say what that looks like, and there's definitely going to have to be some negotiation made behind the closed doors on how can we have a path forward, because as of right now, looking at it, there is no path forward. There's no way you can guess how to do a game review of a game that potentially is not there. Or as many games as they are, I mean, how can you do that? It's impossible. That's not reality. But that's what they want. At least that's what the policy says. So that's why it's like, and don't get me wrong, Xcloud preview was not supposed to stop until I think it was next week.
Right. But they're ready to go.
But it's already expired. So
well, yeah. Well, and then also it's yeah. I mean, because it's about to start September 15th for.
But it was supposed to continue before they pulled it, and it got canceled early because of Apple's policies.
Draconian policies.
Yeah. So that the thing is it's a multi thing. Yes, they're thinking about their interests, trying to promote their Apple arcade thing, but more importantly, they're also thinking about how they have their structure. Their structure is they want to control and manage everything. That's why they have these policies in place, and to alter those means to open the door and change their philosophy altogether, which I don't think that's going to happen.
No doubt. No, I don't think it's going to happen either. I think there's going to be some kind of legal battle or whatever, and it's Apple's platform, so obviously I don't think that.
And they're already in the crosshairs of the government. Like I said, they were there last week to answer for this,
Right.
And they dodged that bullet, but then they came back to blow up in their face again over this.
Well, because that's a great segue for the last topic of the night, and yes, Shadow Warrior 3 looks dope as hell. I cannot wait. And thank you, Bounty Boom. He said, great show, great discussion. All right, so the last discussion, and the reason why I made this the last discussion, because I don't think everybody is invested into this story as much as I am about the whole TikTok situation, and then the potential of Microsoft acquiring them, because I don't think people really realize how deep in the gaming TikTok is involved into this scheme of things, because I'm sure that you've heard of Tencent, and Tencent has been buying all types of studios, and they've invested in all different types of things. But because of the situations that's been going on right now, and the Trump administration has been adamant of going after TikTok because of, and listen, I am not a Trump supporter. I will never be. But if there's one thing that I can agree with him on one thing, is that either way, because there's American technology that spies on Americans, but there is no doubt that that it's been proven that TikTok has been that has the Chinese, because they're owned by the Chinese, that they have been collecting data, and they've been catching and that data is extensive from Americans and from people from all around the world for personal use and gain for whatever reason that they can leverage. I have no idea. But so what the Trump administration has done is that they're going to disband TikTok, or ban TikTok from the United States. And that's not even all from that, because it's TikTok and then it's another app as well. That's What's Up app. I've never even heard of that app, or some What's Up or something like that.
What's that?
WhatsApp.
It's an internal IM,
Right.
kind of like that.
Right.
It's a messaging
But
app.
I'm going to show this graph on here to show, because there's a lot of people that, like I said, they because a lot of people was asking questions when it was breaking it down. I mean, like political. This is Slayer. This is in our roadhouse. You know what I'm saying, Sir X-Man? This is in our roadhouse right here. This is in a political like stance, but it's also got gaming involved into it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show this to show that where the TikTok situation may benefit or may not benefit gaming, as wherever how you choose. And here we go right here. Boom, right here. All right, so Tencent's ownership of any of the gaming, which is involved with TikTok, and for the whatever app that you just said, the What's Up app or WhatsApps or whatever. This is what Tencent owns. And so for the report that just came out, for the report that came out that basically if anything from under the 45 days, it's going to be excluded. So which means it's going to be banned. So if you look at Riot Games, Tencent owns 100% of Riot Games. Riot Games would be out of a job because because they are owned by the people who own TikTok. Well, there was another report that came in that said that within these 45 days, Riot Games, Epic Games, all this stuff that always says, all these other people all these other companies that's invested, and you see the percentage that's owned by Tencent is excluded for right now for the 45 days. Now, Microsoft is talked about, and I've seen it on the news multiple times, that they have already said that they pretty much are trying to get that they're in cahoots with the White House to go ahead and buy TikTok for, of course, this, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's one of these situations where the United States government can oversee what people are doing in the United States, on top of the fact that that money can go back into the United States government. Now, however you feel about that is however you feel about that. I'm not going to get into that monster. That's a whole different animal. But what is the situation here is that there's a lot of people that fear that Microsoft could come out like a fat rat, and maybe this could be the one reason why Microsoft, even though at the one time that they were very they were quick to want to jump on the WB thing, but then once they seen this, and they could acquire or be a part of some of this interest that Tencent had and owned or owns, that they would have to relinquish. This is crazy. That's what I'm saying. This is bananas. This is affecting gaming in a whole other way. And Riot Games, especially, if you don't know who makes Riot Games, League of Legends is who makes Riot Games. And if Xbox is somehow going to have their foot put into this, if there's some kind of crazy, situation that goes on where Tencent cannot hold on to Riot Games, I don't know. That's still in limbo. Nobody don't know yet. Just think about what Microsoft could be. And look, I'm an Xbox fan. I'm always going to be an Xbox fan. But then you're going into the territory of monopolies, and I am not a fan of monopolies. So I'm going to go to you on this one, 108. And if you want to get out of here, you can. But I want to get your thoughts on this. I don't know if you can see the graph right here of the ownership of what Tencent owns, and just get, what I'm saying. I understand it's a little complex, and I'm pretty sure that you didn't even check on this. But
I know about Tencent, and I'm about to drop some knowledge on you real quick.
So go ahead. So what the hell is going on? What could this mean overall for not only for Tencent's ownership for these companies that's not based in Japan, but overall for what can we see from what Microsoft's going to do once they acquire TikTok?
Well, it's all about properties when you buy somebody's company. So they're definitely gonna try to use those properties. But I'm gonna tell you something about Tencent. Y'all don't even know. The last Terminator movie was financed by Tencent. Next time y'all watch it, look in the credits at the end. Tencent had a hand in the making of the last Terminator movie. These dudes is dangerous because they're putting their foot stamp everywhere, places that you don't even have no idea. So
Rabbit hole gets deeper when you're talking about movies. They heavily
they are
fucking
deep.
game.
They're
and it
opening a bank in
influences-
the U.S. too.
Yep.
And it-
You gotta
I
watch
know,
these
I
dudes.
know
Tencent is
exactly where it's
sneaky,
being opened at.
See, Tencent is sneaky, but for the gaming side, Microsoft would just take their properties over there, and it'd just be another notch on the belt. And they definitely got the bread, got way more money than Tencent. But this is a great topic because people don't. This is something that people need to be aware of. TikTok is real dangerous, man. TikTok has been known to monitor what you do, not like other companies haven't done it, but you got to be careful what you be putting on these social media apps. And it's really a security factor and everything else too. It's just not just gaming and making videos. You know what I'm saying? But Tencent is truly dangerous, and I think if Microsoft acquired them, like you said League of Legends, ain't nothing else to say. That would be a great property to have their hands on, like Minecraft. That was huge for Microsoft. It's still paying off till today. And then made their money back, twice now since they bought Minecraft. So it definitely would be a good look for Microsoft in terms of the gaming. Plus, the United States government want to get rid of these dudes because they're dangerous. So with all this craziness going on, it would definitely be a good look for Microsoft and content at the end of the day.
No doubt. PK, what do you think?
So I don't think it has something to do with buying Tencent in general, just some of the properties that are in America only.
No, I'm not talking about buying Tencent. I'm talking about the properties. That's why I was showing
taking the properties from them. Right.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it specifically TikTok that's the half of it in America, the half that's in America, not the whole thing? At least that's what I thought it was about.
As far as I know, yeah, it's supposed to be the American, not the whole company.
Right,
but now I've heard afterwards that they might just they want to get the whole thing instead.
And let me say this for who don't know. TikTok has been banned already in 2 countries.
Yeah, I think India was one of them.
Oh,
India
really?
was
I didn't know that.
it's been banned already. Yeah, they're not playing with that.
India's been blocking a number of Chinese apps and things on Android app stores, iOS, whatever.
Right, because I mean, if you really think about it, Tencent came out of nowhere and just started buying up all
No,
the
they
assets.
didn't come out of. They're not buying. They didn't come out of nowhere. They're strategically increasing their footprint.
Well, no, but I'm saying, in a sense, what I'm talking about is that their money has came out of really nowhere. So really, I don't know if they're funded by the Japanese government. I mean, the Chinese government or something like that. I don't, because I mean, listen, I know that they've been around, but they weren't doing these type of
You want to know where the majority? You want to know where their money comes from?
Right.
They made Call of Duty Mobile.
Well,
Yes.
you know where the majority of their money comes from,
People
right?
don't know that.
Where's their money come from, Don?
Internet ads.
Ah, okay, well.
So they're one of the companies they own. Primarily is one of the biggest companies that basically there's this whole thing that happens behind the scene for competing for ad space. When an ad is played, they say on a website, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it may be, and they are the ones that are able to find the ones that can pay the biggest amount of monies for how many views that something's going to be getting, and they get a cut of all that. And since they're most effective at that, and they're most effective at getting the ads that will do the biggest payouts in the quickest amount of time, then that's how a lot of their money is generated. So.
Okay, so go ahead, PK. Finish up.
Oh,
Hey, Mega not eating.
Sorry, I was thought I was going to talk a little bit longer. My bad.
Oh, okay, all right.
I typically don't like Tencent, so I know I'm just not sure. I really not sure if this is even good for Microsoft to get involved. Like it's almost like they're being used to. I don't know. It's like a political move. I don't know. It just seems weird to me. But that's all I got. I really have to think about this.
Okay, so all right, I'm gonna go to you, Slayer, and get your point of this, so I can
All
finish
right.
eating this last piece of what I
All
was
right.
eating.
Well, first and foremost, I gotta say, yo, why Microsoft always gotta be Captain Save-A-Ho? Like, why Microsoft gotta be the one to spend all the bread to buy out the American piece of TikTok, potentially the whole thing? Because I was hearing that
Well,
like
I'll tell you
that
why.
narrative change up.
I'll tell you
You
why
know,
on that. So, because I'm done with my little piece of what I was eating. All right, so let
oh,
me make
quick.
this point, and then I'll let you go ahead and finish. It's because it's political. It's overall political.
Obviously, yeah.
Trump doesn't like Stazos. Him and Stazos don't like Trump, and Microsoft is just playing like, you know, in between. This is a this is a thing where like it's also go to the whole government military funding situation with the technology that's going on with trying to stop China, Russia, and all these other people. That Iran and all them that's coming in and doing the you know, going in and trying to fuck with the elections and all this other stuff. Well, Trump could go with the biggest company that has the biggest servers, which is in Google, or he can go to somebody else and he could slide Google because he don't like Stazos. And that's exactly what this situation. So he gave Microsoft the contract. So the U.S. government gave the contract to Microsoft, and so now this is another situation. He don't want to go to Google. He don't want to go to Apple. He wants to go to somebody else who's been playing neutral, and that is Microsoft. And so the Microsoft was like, look, we see that we can get some benefits out of this, but it's like you said, it's kind of like they got to play. They got to look like Captain Save-A-Hole because of this situation. So go ahead, Slayer. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So no, it's cool. So basically, you know, you see all this and it's just like, oh, once again, but there you go with that, you know. But as you said, and yeah, my political leanings, I pretty same with yours. And at the same time, I feel like with this situation, when it comes to, yeah, I do agree that, you know, Tencent and the whole thing. But just to talk on that movie aspect in Hollywood, all these movies lately, you see Chinese characters out of nowhere where the context isn't right. Like, it's just odd that, you know, and then there's like China and Hollywood have been hand in hand for a while now. Like, I want to say like 15, 20 plus years, you know. There's just basically, I can point to a YouTube channel that I've mentioned before, Upper Echelon Gamers. Okay, and this guy talks a lot about these subjects, and I'll put it to you like this: remember the whole thing that happened with that one game? Was it League of Legends? I think it was, where there was that championship or whatever, and the guy took that time to, you know, put out his support for the Hong Kong protests and stuff, and then, you know, the guys who were doing the broadcast, the host of the broadcast, and they all got in trouble, and it was this whole big thing. It's like, you can't do certain things in America even, because it'll violate laws in China,
Right.
because you're also doing dealings with China. They're funding to whatever degree your project. So your project has to be, you know, in a manner that's going to appease them at the same time as be something that Americans and others want to consume as well. And it's this whole mix. So you're getting censorship in content that wouldn't have to be censored here just to appease China. You know, they had the live action Mulan film. It's missing a lot of elements that normally would have been in there, but because China helped to fund that partially, I don't understand why Disney needed to do that. Like, Disney, especially after all the money they're making off of Marvel, I don't know why, but that's
Right.
Hollywood for you. Who can understand Hollywood? Nobody does, not even Hollywood in and of itself. But it just goes to show the whole, how deep China's claws in. Tencent is just one of their players, you know, one of their agents, you might want to say. I don't want to act like this is some whole conspiracy theory thing. This is really not. This documented what's going on with,
Right.
you know, Tencent and how they're doing, and then you know, I don't know what other various Chinese companies are dealing with in Hollywood and other things as well. But also, and when it comes to security, what you brought up earlier, like I say, this is what I have my education, and I can tell you, a lot of these apps and platforms in general, Google, Facebook, and platforms from Microsoft, they all get touched. You see oftentimes these companies, X company got hacked, and a lot of their personal information from their customers and clients get leaked out. Intel just had a hack. 20 gigs of sensitive data got leaked, like processor designs, all types of stuff, bro.
Yeah,
Nintendo had that whole big leak, the Giga leak. They're calling now 1 and 2. Source code to many classic Nintendo titles, Super Mario World, countless games. I could name Star Fox 2, the source code, like Mario 64, and other source code that wasn't used in the final game, like Luigi. You might have heard about that. That's all massively. These are hacks done on servers, owned by a company that was attached to Nintendo, and their servers got hacked, and got that Nintendo information. And this happens. You read the headlines like this all the time, and it's from a couple of known actors: Russia, China, Iran. I don't really hear North Korea anymore because they really
in the mix. Don't get
they're
it
in the
twisted.
mix, but they're not at
mix.
the level of the other three.
No,
right?
no.
Yeah, they're there as well, and others you can name.
And Venezuela and
Venezuela, and if you notice,
Cuba,
all countries,
don't get it twisted.
Cuba, all countries that aren't too cool with the U.S. and never have been.
Right.
And so this might sound like I say some conspiracy theory stuff. Trust me, it truly is not. This is what's been going on. And like I say, politically, I align with you, K Mega, and no fan of Trump. But this is one move. He's not wrong on this one.
He's not wrong on this one. No, he's not.
Wrong on
this one. He's not wrong on this one, and that doesn't mean I'm going to vote for his punk ass because I'm not. But I agree that because if one thing that we have known for a very long time, I mean, China has owned a lot of stocks, a lot of properties from the United States. Maybe a lot of people just didn't understand, and that's the reason why they know the technologies of what that's why they've dominated in steel because they knew how to undercut United States. They just done all different types of things, and I'm not saying anything because I'm just going by the political stance of it. It's not that I got a problem with the Chinese people or anything like that. I don't have a problem with anybody. Hell, we got our own problems in the United States. We've talked about that plenty of times. And the one thing that I do have, and Don, did I go to you already?
No,
you're going to be last. Okay, so I do want to say this before I go to Don so we can finish this up and get out of here. Where I have the problem with overall is that if Microsoft looks like it's going to pick this up, and I do feel that in the short term that WB should have been first and foremost, and I think that Microsoft was going to go after WB Games, but once they seen this animal and have the opportunity maybe to get Riot Games or for anything that you've seen on that list, and maybe even have some stock, 40% stock into Epic Games themselves, if that's even possible. League of Legends is an animal by itself that cannot be contained. It is a huge conglomerate, and I know that Microsoft will do the right thing by not trying to do what Sony does by making exclusive stuff. So you see what they've done with this and that. But the one thing that I fear about all of this is the monopoly. I don't like monopolies. I just don't. I like the underdog role. I like the fact that Microsoft has to come. Well, not Microsoft, but Xbox has to come out of. You got to come out of their hole because they made so many mistakes for them that they dug themselves in, and now they're doing what gamers are asking them to, now getting a point to where now they're getting a nudge from the government to take over something, and now they can. I don't think people understand how big that Riot Games could be. 100%. I don't know how it's all going to play out at the end, but I definitely know that regardless of who's in the administration, this going to be some kind of fuck up at the end of it. And I don't know, Don, do you agree with this with me on this, or do you have a different take on this overall?
Well, it shows that they're for sale.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean Microsoft will buy them. Obviously, Microsoft's part of the topic because of TikTok, and
Right.
you heard a lot of the rumors kind of chill out with the WB thing with them, and so I can see where people get that conclusion. I don't think the WB thing has been settled. And doesn't mean they're not looking at these opportunities as well. But keep in mind, it's not just Microsoft is looking at these opportunities. There's Sony's going to be looking at those opportunities. Activision's going to be, EA, all those companies. They're going to be looking at it and see if there's something they want to pick up on the download, right? And so just because Microsoft maybe get first pick because a strong relationship with the current administration doesn't necessarily mean they're going to buy everything, and those things will all be up for sale to some degree. So we'll see how it all goes.
Okay. All right. Short and sweet. I like it. All right, guys. This topic was really fascinating because it had a mix of politics on top of gaming, and I thought that this was it's different. I don't think that everybody really got into this. I don't know. I don't listen to every podcast out there, but I did want to address it to let everybody know that look, we just don't talk about the same substance that everybody else does. That's why the state of play thing, I know that people wanted to hear us, and I just kind of was like, no, man, let's just get the hell away from that, and let's just get into the meat of stuff, and then just get into the nitty gritty, and just show why we are different than other podcasts out there. But regardless, we could do it all. You know what I'm saying? We can chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. So we did it.
Yeah, I'd like to just mention. Okay, so first of all, like you say, this topic, it connects into so many things. You notice I was able to mention Hollywood, security, all these other. It's a whole big thing. But truly, if you really want good information on the Tencent thing and China and how it pertains to gaming in particular, upper echelon gamers here on YouTube, check them out. Great dude, very eloquent, well-meaning, educated, and when he's not sure, he says that, and when he's sure, he says it, and he gives you facts and nothing else but facts, and the opinions he'll have are the obvious conclusions that you can only come to when you hear all the facts, and that's what you hear from him. So check it out. You'll get more in-depth information on this very broad subject that we just discussed here. You'll get a lot of information there.
Yeah, but the other guy that you sit here and you told me to listen to, he is too highly conservative for my taste.
Conservative?
Oh yeah, that other guy. I forgot what the other guy's name was.
With the glasses?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
the guy with the beard.
Yeah, and he just had that beef with review tech.
Yeah. Look, I got his.
Hey, keep making. Not everyone that wears a red hat's conservative.
Bro.
He
don't need the red hat. His red beard just explains it. No, I listened to his content and I thought his content was solid. But then all of a sudden, I was kept listening to everything else that he was saying, and then the more and more, and then I was kind of like, oh, now you're overkilling the Last of Us 2 segment for profit. And that's what I'm saying. Like, look, I talked about The Last of Us 2, I think, twice, and maybe on the podcast as well. But then there's a point to where you have to look at it and you're like, look, it's overkill. You can't. Yeah. I'm never going to tell a person that is anticipating The Last of Us 2 not to go get that game. I'm not going to tell anybody that's upset about a Muslim woman that's being Miss Marvel. That you shouldn't support the game because you feel a certain way about it. But what I will tell you is that you need to let it go, because now you're making a point to show me that you are agenda based. That's something that I try not to be. I have my preferences. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want to over drill it. That's why because I know everybody took, and especially every other podcast out there, they had their stance on the state of play. And I understand that you guys didn't really have your chance to do it, and that's fine. That's why we did it. But to me, it was kind of like, I don't want to do the overkill, because everybody knows, even PlayStation fans know, that show was mediocre at best. It was not good. It wasn't. It didn't wet the palate. Matter of fact, Don, give me a quick thing of did you even see the state of play? What did you think?
Did that happen?
Okay, all right, so that's what we know. All right,
Upset.
guys. Lemon, where can they find you at, brother? Thank you for coming on and sticking on. I know that you said you was gonna get out here by 11 o'clock. We did 3 hours 19 minutes. We're not too bad, not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. But anyway, where can they find you at? And yeah, everybody knows about Oreo and Oreo messing around doing some crazy shit in your house. What's going on, bro?
Usually we hear about Briggs. Tonight was
Briggs,
the Oreo.
yeah, Briggs is disciplined now. His ass goes to his cage at 8:30.
My teeth. I said, yo, you almost licked you in your teeth. Like that was crazy. You can find me at Runaway Dragons TV on every social media platform and especially my YouTube channel. I should be dropping some new content next week, man. I'm still getting into the studio, still getting my electronics together, man. It's a lot of work wiring up all this stuff, but yeah, y'all know where y'all can find me, man. Runaway Dragons TV on everything, man. And we got a show coming up soon. The new Xbox, the newest showcase coming at the end of the month. So stay tuned for that, man. I'm out here in these streets. I appreciate everybody for coming, man. Sorry I've been gone. People, but I've really been hustling.
Oh no, you've been doing this thing. You've been doing this thing.
And I'm on one leg.
You on one leg, I'm on half a back. We all,
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? Listen,
We hurt.
Runaway Dragons, you got a pig leg?
yeah, yeah.
When did that
That
happen?
wouldn't stop me from putting it up your ass. Keep it up, Don.
Like you can lift your leg that high.
Oh shit! Oh my god. Anyway, all right. So sorry. So PK, man, thank you for coming. You got a little agitated there for a minute. You kept popping in and out, and you was like, "You skipped me." I didn't skip you. I was just trying to give you a chance to get your stuff in order. What's going on, bro? I like it. The nasty PK is a PK that I can relate with. What's going on with you, bro? Where everybody can find you at, man? Great content. Your videos are top notch. Man, when I first started, man, I wish I could pull out content like you push out, bro. You doing a hell of a job, man. Where can they find you at, brother?
Oh, thank you. You can always find me here every Friday at GRG and on Twitter at PKX Live and on my new YouTube channel. You can find all my links here. Hopefully, K-Megan links my YouTube channel in the description down below. And you can also find me on my Twitter account. By the way, I lost power and internet. That's why I was irritated. I had to connect through my phone.
Oh, it's okay. It's all right. I just was waiting for you to come back, and then Bloody, you know what I'm saying, was just, filling in, and then next thing you know, he took my spot. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
you should never have Bloody talk for me. That will irritate me because he's gonna talk forever and then take all my points.
No. We cut him off. We cut him off. And shout out to Bloody. Bloody, I'm pretty sure had to go do some streaming or whatever.
Yeah,
so
that's why
fine.
they didn't mention Crash, man. I had to leave you stuck.
Right,
you know?
right. So, you know what I'm saying, my bad talking about Temtem. But I forgot what Temtem was. So I should have known that was going to be your topic because of the Pokemon situation. I don't know any of that stuff. I know some Pokemon names: Charizard, Squirtle, and you know what I'm saying, and Pikachu, which he needs to evolve and turn to a bigger rat. But other than that, like, you know what I'm saying, and me too, all that, I don't know a lot about the, you know what I'm saying, the Pokemons like you do. So, next time I will let you be first to go ahead and feast off of Temtem and Pokemon, okay? That's a deal, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I don't want to get chewed out again. You was aggressive. Made me a little nervous. I didn't understand how to take that. All right, Six Layer, what's going on with you, bro, man? Where can everybody find you at?
Hey,
Yes.
man, you can find me on Twitter, Sick Slayer, and everywhere great games are played. Right here every week on GRG, 9:30 Eastern, and you'll find us on that Dragons Den podcast coming soon. And pretty soon I'm gonna have a little giveaway for you folks. Probably gonna be a PC title and a console title, and possibly a mobile title. We'll see about that one. That's the least likely, but a PC title and a console title for our loyal fans who come to the chat every week. There's so many names now. I used to name you guys all out individually, but there's just so many of y'all. So as a return for the loyal support that you give us, I'm giving right back to you. There's going to be a giveaway real soon. So and the more often you guys are here in the chat, the more chances you'll have to win. So
No doubt.
be here or be lame.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, and man, hopefully that you'll sit there and you'll get your content. Well, I know that you're going to be doing some stuff with 108 with his podcast coming up. So you know what I'm saying. So yeah, go look out for my boy Six Slayer, man. He's done a fantastic job when he started filling in for Lemon, and then you know, he came on the next podcast and had a little point over there, and now you know what I'm saying. Now he's doing it here and he's a regular. So I mean, it's great stuff. And then last but not least, the Don, you know what I'm saying, my partner in crime for Devin the Gamer. What's going on with you, man? Where can they find you at, brother?
Yeah, the best thing to do is follow me on Twitter, which is the Don_KTR. It's the same thing on Twitch. Those are probably the two major platforms I participate the most on. And then, yeah, if you type in Don KTR, pretty much in anything, you probably will find me. So just if you're on Facebook, you're on Twitch, you're on, I guess, Mixer still a thing. I'm not sure.
No,
but
Mixer's gone. Mixer's gone.
Come on, man. That was unnecessary, man.
Yeah, that was messy, Don.
Too soon.
What's
Too
going
soon,
on,
bro?
Man, like I said, ever since you go on to Twitch, man, you become a little raunchy, man. I don't know, man. This ain't the Dev way, man. I don't know. What's going on?
Crunk. I see what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, I miss Mixer. I'll pour one on the floor for him. But yeah,
pour one out.
Yeah, but you follow me on Twitch. That's where me and K Mega's new home are, and yeah, you learn a lot about K Mega's life there. I'll tell you what, you learn what his high school car was. You learn how he feels about clowns, really feels about clowns, and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, just
yesterday, this is no lie, because we still got to put a couple of games in for Fight Night tomorrow. I think, Don, you need to go ahead and download Dragon Ball Z Fighters. I think we're definitely going to be doing that tomorrow. Sunday night, because it's free. It's free this weekend? Yeah, it's free.
Okay, I'll download it then.
Okay, but then but Unstable jumped into a party with me and my old homeboys, a homeboy that I've been knowing for 20 plus years, and Unstable learned a little bit more information because my one friend, he's not like Sir X-Man, but he's old like Sir X-Man. And so he was telling stories, and so Unstable got to hear the story about, like, you know, I saved him from some gangsters one time, you know. I should have let his ass get shot, but he told that story.
Was it like the bodyguard scene?
No. It wasn't no bodyguard scene. It was some crazy shit going on in our apartments, and I knew dude, and then I knew the other dudes that was trying to get him, and then it was a crazy situation, and then it turned into some real wild shit. But he was telling the story, and Unstable was like, oh. So obviously, hopefully that people don't think that when I say my stories on especially on Sunday nights, that I'll be just making up some bullshit, because he told the story and Unstable didn't even have no idea. So it's just one of those things, man. So but yeah, I will never let you ever talk to my boy Cookie, because he'll just tell too many things about our past. So no, never. So I'll make sure that he's avoided with his old crazy ass. Anyway, all right. So let me get the hell out of here.
Kidnap this dude. Find out the secrets. Post it on Twitter.
No secrets. No secrets.
You told me what his name was. I know where to go.
That's not his real name. I just call him Cookie because he was in the military, and if you watch that movie,
you're just giving more information.
No. That movie with Cuba Gooding, that Cuba Gooding Jr. movie. And he called him Cookie. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, but he's in the military. He called Cookie.
Yeah, he was in the military. He fought in Iraq and shit like that. Don't matter. That's all you need to know. There's plenty of people like, I mean, Pratt fight in Iraq. What the fuck? I mean, so.
Don't worry, K-Mega. We won't ever tell him about the pulled pork.
No, we don't ever need to know about the pulled pork. Whatever. So anyway, we're getting the hell out of here. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Man,
wait, you need to file me?
No, that was Lemon.
Yeah. You gotta
That was Lemon. What I do?
He did lemon defiled pulled pork. I don't know what's going on with that, man. Lemon is disgusting. Anyway, Sir X-Man, he says up yours, K Mega. I'm not that old. I'm glad you heard it. But anyway, we'll see you guys later. Thank you for coming and stopping by as usual and just hanging with us, man, because it's just what we do, man. We have a time limit a little bit. But anyway, we out. Oh, here's the outro right here. We out. Damn, I hit that shit early. Bye.
K-Meg's gonna get a bean pie.